And here we go. This is not really part of T90 Titans League, but they will be using T90 Titans maps. So for game number 1, DauT is going to play with Aztecs down the south. In the blue color is going to be facing Nili, who's playing with Hindustanis towards the northwest. In the red color, but DauT, well, is certainly going to be the favorite coming into the show match. We'll see how this eventually goes, but this is going to take place on TTL Arabia, TTL2 Arabia even, so the version utilized for T90 Titans League. Hey Hots! Hi, how's it going? I hope you guys are looking forward to this one. This took place yesterday while I was casting T90 Titans League. I think a lot of people were casting T90 Titans League, so I'm not really sure there was much of a caster's point of view for this show match, and we're gonna aim to change that, to fix that today. Taking a look at the players and the civilizations, we already introduced the colors and the civs for the players. Let's talk about the civs themselves. Starting with DauT, playing with the Aztecs means that he's going to begin with 50 extra gold upon starting the game. His villagers will have also the ability to garrison, or actually to carry 3 extra resources per trip. And then the Aztecs also have 11% faster training military units except for monks, but monks will have 5 extra HP per each technology that the Aztecs research. For the team bonus, finally, the Aztecs will also have 33% faster gold income from relics. As for the map generation, DauT's gonna have the main goal forward. He's got the secondary goal on the back. He's got the other secondary goal on the right hand side, very far away. And then the stones will be to the sides. To the left hand side, the main one. To the right hand side, the secondary one. And he's got a beautiful woodland over here on the back. He's kind of closer to the center, the southwest side of the map as opposed to the corners. So if you wanted to go for the walls towards the edge of the map, that would be extremely greedy and very expensive to get away with. So instead I would expect him to just try and connect maybe these wood lines like this. Maybe go for something like this. And then on the left hand side, yeah, that's gonna be awkward. I guess this is probably going to be the best choice so that he would also be able to secure the stone. But I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if he tried to wall from just the cliff towards the TC. And that way he would also be able to secure he would at the very least be able to secure the goal, rather. Meanwhile, Nili civilization, the Hindustanis will get 25% faster attacking camels. 10, 15, 20, 25% cheaper villagers in the Darkfield Castle and Imperial Ages, and we'll have for Hindustanis also +1/+1 armor and gunpowder units. For the team bonus, they get 2 bonus damage against buildings from camels, like cavalry and hussar units. As for the map generation for Mr. Nili, silly Nili, the red player will have the main gold on the left hand side, secondary gold on the left hand side, very far away. And then there is a secondary goal on the right hand side, very far away over here as well. Main stone on the right hand side, secondary stone on the left hand side. And a woodline over here on the back to take advantage of as well. However, this woodline is not going to be particularly easy to secure. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure he's going to use it as part of the walls. And then he's probably going to try to connect from the left hand side to the goals and then towards the TC. That's going to be the cheapest one. However, he could potentially go for the walls like this, which would be safer, but would be harder to defend as well. Safer in the sense that he will be able to secure a lot of extra resources with the main and secondary golds. But yeah, he wouldn't be able to secure a single wood line, and it would be very hard to defend, especially like this section over here. This section over here, depending on where he sent the villagers, he might or might not have villagers close enough to the walls to repair those and sustain any damage, right? I saw some of it on Nili's channel, but I fell asleep. Well, no problem then. You're going to find out the result today. You're gonna see the conclusion of the show match for sure. And one thing we know already, Nili's gonna be the first player to go up to the village right now. Just so you know, I'm coming in strong into my 38th hour of fasting. So I'm already past halfway. Gonna be done at 72 hours tomorrow at night. This is just so you know. in case I screw up, I'm going to blame it on the fasting, alright? I haven't eaten a lot in a long time. So I'll just attribute any errors, any mistakes, even if those are quite common in other streams as well, to fasting. So I have my excuse ready. 38, yes, it's going to be 72 total. It's Nili sending some militia forward, and DauT has some militia already putting pressure, and this is really good for the bull player. He managed to get one of the houses down already from Nili, and he's gonna get a second house down very soon. Nili, on the other hand, he's got the militias coming down south. I'd be able to get a villager if he places cards right over here. Oh! That was trying to wall the scout over there for a moment. Couldn't do it. And Nili doesn't seem like he'll be able to do too much with the militias over there. Meanwhile, DauT, he's already taken 2 houses down. Give me your address. I'll get the Danish state to send you food quickly. It's on purpose, don't worry. I have food. I have food already. I just haven't had any, but it's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. Beautiful. The militias from DauT are not strong enough to fight Nili's Minotaurs. Of course, so the Minotaurs will take the militias down, and for the most part, the game has become quite hectic already. There we go. Blacksmith on the way now for Nili. He's got the archer range. First unit's coming forward. It's going to be a skirmisher. DauT did go for a defensive. Archer range himself as well. He's got some archers out. And that should work against the Minotaurs. Not so much about against the skirmishers, of course. So we'll see. Give Nili his coordinates on the map. I'll get the Danish state to send him food quickly. Nili's. Does he do anything like this? In the end, DauT's gonna have to pull the villager away from gold. But the game, I would say, overall has stabilized. DauT, interestingly enough, did manage to get ahead in military count compared to Nili. There we go. And the red player, while he was able to push DauT away from the goal momentarily, is now also going to be under a little bit of pressure back home as well. Oh, and as a matter of fact, actually, let's go back a little bit over here. Because check this out! The militias got to the berries as the villagers had overforaged. They do surround the woman over here, and that's gonna be the first eco kill going in favor of DauT this game. Yeah, and then it seems like DauT is gonna be able to successfully push Nili away from his goal as well, so he should be able to get back to work. Well, Nili, on the other hand, still has to worry about the militia, still has to worry about the scout over here. There's definitely potential for a little bit more damage coming in from DauT over here. He's gonna try to land another villager kill, and he might be able to do it. He's got the scout over there to block the villager, and you know what? That is going to be a second villager going down, and well done. You can see her. Fantastic. The zoom did not work too well over there, but now it should. Yeah, there we go. And in the end, DauT was effectively able to push Nili away to fend Nili's units off his economy. So he's back. He's back into this game. He's got a villager lead because of the villager kills he got against Nili, because of Nili's extra idle TC time. It's gonna be the one putting pressure right now, and while he's got for the most part skirmishers and not really any gold units, only now going for an Eagle Scout. For the most part, you should still be able to, at the very least, force Nili into extra units, right? Because right now, we have more skirmishers for DauT than skirmishers for Nili. And given the fact that the red players got the defender's advantage over here, you'd expect that to be the other way around, but DauT's going to end up forcing extra investment into military from Nili. While he himself is not really going for too much. He's got a few Eagle Scouts queued up, but you take a look at the economy, and DauT seems like he's going to be the first player to go up to the Castle Age. If he were to get to the Castle Age earlier, going for Eagle Warriors, right, for a few Eagle Scouts on the way to the Castle Age, and then the Eagle Warrior upgrade once he gets to the Castle Age would be absolutely fantastic for Mr. DauT, so we'll see if he goes for it. Beautiful. Castle Age is indeed on the way for DauT, and Nili not particularly close, despite the fact that he spent less resources for every villager he's trained. The villager count's still higher for DauT, even though he got a little bit of extra idle TC time compared to Nili by the end of the Fuel Age. The two villagers he managed to kill were enough for him to hold on to a respectable lead. Does not run away, he's advancing in reverse. This is what I was talking about. He forced Nili into extra units. So now Nili's got extra skirmishers to work with, but the scouts, the Eagle Scouts, will take these skirmishers down. So long as DauT still has skirmishers to work with, should be able to take care of the archers, but it seems like he's running out of units. He's got no skirmishers anymore, but Nili, only on 4 archers, won't be able to do too much, especially as the Eagle Scouts over here already have scale mail armor. There you are. Beautiful. Castle Age in 5 seconds, gonna be there for DauT. Nili in 2 minutes and 5 seconds, so DauT's there. Nili's 2 minutes away. And what do we get? We have the Eagle Warrior upgrade on the way. We have chainmail armor right away. 4 villagers coming in from DauT as well. Yesterday I said that you should have been casting this, not TTL. Yeah, there is no way that I was going to cast TTL if I cast this one yesterday. I mean, there was no way that I was going to cast TTL today if I had cast this yesterday, right? It's just not the same. So I prefer to do it live for the tournament and then just leave the show match for a later point. But I'm glad that I did, because yesterday I think most people were casting TTL. Now we are going to provide a caster's point of view for the show match. Although I'm not really sure if anybody was casting this yesterday. I would imagine probably somebody must have. Not accounting for the player's point of view, of course. Hey guys, and Bailo, hi, hi. Oh, the Eagle Warriors got in though! They got in the whole line. And we see one villager going down, 2 villagers going down, and this is tragic for Nili. He's surrounding the Eagles, and he still ends up taking a lot of losses over here. As close as the Aztecs will get tonight, these Eagle Warriors do not really care about villager damage too much. Plus, with chainmail armor already, DauT Eagles are certainly resilient enough to take on a bunch of villagers. Yeah, Nili's going for Lone Swords. He's got the Man of Towers upgrades. He's had it since the PLH. And Lone Swords will give him some degree of protection against the Eagle Warriors. But so long as DauT plays his cards right, once again, he can make use of the mobility of these Eagle Warriors to stay away from the Lone Swords and still keep on doing damage. If you take a look, he's got already 7 extra workers compared to Nili. A bunch of extra military units as well. Nili, for the most part, is gonna be on range units. He's only going for like 3, 4 Lone Swords, but he's got nothing right now. And the magnet shot from DauT is absolutely fantastic, and we'll see. Most likely, yeah, DauT take game number 1, right? As Nili calls the GG, that's gonna be 1-0 already in favor of the blue player. And let's take a look at what we get for the achievements. So the first 5 games here, but didn't know you'd cast it. Just happy I didn't spoil it. Yes, I said that I was going to cast this one today, but I said I think at just one point during the stream when somebody asked about it. So I would imagine if you weren't like exactly at that moment in the stream, you probably missed it. Anyway, good KD. DauT's going to get better than 3-2 KD in the end. For economy, we have a stronger economy for DauT too, and for society. Higher villager max count as well. So we'll jump into game number 2 in a moment. Let's go back first. We are in game number 2, everyone. This is gonna be on Scandinavia, and once again, they are making use of TTL2 maps. So this is TTL2 Scandinavia. DauT, he's playing with Spanish on the right-hand side, and he's playing with Mongols on the left-hand side. We saw already Mongols on this map go to waste in one of the series that we cast from TTL by not collecting hunting whatsoever. We'll see if Nili will actually go and take advantage of the Mongols or not. But let's introduce the civilization, starting with DauT towards the northeast of the map. Playing with the Spanish means that his villagers will build stuff 33% faster. It's going to have, in addition to that, no gold cost on blacksmith upgrades. Gunpowder units attack faster for the Spanish as well. And cannon galleon units will also benefit from faster projectiles that behave as if they had ballistics. For the team bonus, that's going to be just for team games, for Spanish specifically. So let's move over to Nili civilization. The red player in the left corner, he's going to play with Mongols. That means 40% faster working hunters. 30% extra HP on like cavalry, hussar, and step lancer line units, as well as 25% faster attacking cavalry archer type units. It's gonna have for the team bonus, in addition to all of that. Here we go. Beautiful. He's gonna have for the team bonus 2 extra line of sight on scout line units, so scouting is going to be a little bit easier. And he's going forward with the scout. He's got 2 sheep. He's stealing from DauT. And DauT, on the other hand, is gonna try to push the Ibex by the looks of it. Let me take a look at Nili's point of view. Nili still has not taken advantage of the hunting over here to speak of. He's not gotten the first boar in yet. And to be fair, neither has DauT. He's just prioritizing the Ibex, but this is hunting, right, from DauT, so it's not too bad. And yeah, there we go. Nili's going for the boar now. Let's take a look at the map generation, as we do. Let me just enjoy the sweet smell of tea. It just smells so nice. I'm having black tea yesterday and today for the first time in a while. I've been having green tea for the most part the last couple months, but yesterday it ran out. I forgot to buy more. So I'm having black tea and I love it. I love it. It's so good. And it smells so sweet compared to the brine that I'm drinking right now. Anyway, the main goal for the bull player is going to be on the left-hand side. It's forward. We have for the secondary gold the location towards the southeast, and the other secondary goal is towards the northwest. Here we go. Well, for the stones, on the other hand, we have the main stone on the left-hand side. Secondary stone is going to be on the right-hand side. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good. This one on the right-hand side is going to be better compared to the main one. But then for the rest, it's not looking quite as hot for Mr. DauT. If you were to connect the walls over here to the forest, or potentially even just to the houses over here, he's not going to have a single safe wood line. He's not going to have a single safe resource. He would have to go for something like from here to here and here to here just to secure one stone. And then the rest of the resources are going to be kind of awkward. Unless he went for something like this, he's not going to be able to secure a gold either. Meanwhile, taking a look at the left-hand side, Nili's map generation, we'll see for the red player the main gold towards the south. Secondary gold on the right-hand side. We're going to have the secondary gold down south over here towards the southeast. Very far away and kind of comparable to DauT's map generation in the sense that most of these resources are very exposed. The main stone is up in the north. He could potentially secure this one by going for some walls from here towards the edge of the map, from here towards the TC and something like this, right? By going for these walls, Nili would not only be able to secure the stone over there, but also two beautiful wall lines over here, especially this one in the north is fantastic. The golds, though, are too far away, and Nili's going to start collecting from it. We'll see what he does in terms of securing it. Once again, though, Nili is not taking advantage of the ibex. So he's got Mongols, but he's not going after hunting. He's just going to rely on fishing ships. Well, I mean, he does have some... Wait, where's he collecting food from, actually? It says over here that he's got food, 5 food workers. I think these are probably going to amount as food workers because he's got these targeted to the ibex, so he's just going to try to lame DauT. But you know, DauT already pushed 2 of the ibex underneath the TC, and unlike Nili, DauT has a little bit of a stronger fishing economy over here, so it's not the best, I'll tell you, for Nili right now. He needs to make a play for food at some point. Remember, of course, that in Scandinavia you have no berry bushes. DauT was trying to go for it to get a sneaky dog up, and it seems to me like he's going to get away with it. Well, Nili did spot the villager. He ended up taking a lot of damage to the scout from DauT. And Nili once again is going to be the one to start putting pressure, right? With the trash coming in early on. He's got a villager for a forward archer mission, potentially a forward sneaky dog as well. So let's take a look. That's a scout going down, already well played from DauT. And he's got the villager moving in. He will be going for Navy units very soon. Meanwhile, Nili already has the villager forward as well, trying to get away with the sneaky duck. But DauT, they'll realize about this. And he's going for a galley. Unfortunately, the galley, I don't think it's going to be in fast enough to prevent the duck from coming up, right? Yeah, this duck's pretty much up already, but DauT's gonna try to target the villager. He's got a villager of his own over here to target the villager for Nili, and if Nili was to get some quick walls up, he's gonna need to get those up beyond the shoreline because of the galley. And overall, yeah, the pressure from the red player is going to increase a little bit just by virtue of getting the Manatowns upgrade and having the archer range already garrison some units inside. DauT, he's finally going for the forward dog. There we go. Scout goes down from DauT. Overall, it's going to be 1-to-1 with both the scouts dead already, and DauT. He's got an archer, he's got a skirmisher. Should be enough for him to defend against this. Well, ideally he would want to get fletching, especially as he's been going for the standard galley over here, right? Fletching would benefit this unit as well, but he's not really committing to it by the looks of it. He's got a fire galley coming out from the back dock, and it's a little bit of a juggle of resources for DauT, as he's got to defend on land against the Minotaurs and the archers from Nili. He's got to defend on water against the forward dog from Nili, but then at the same time he also wants to put some pressure, right? And what is DauT doing? He was going for a fishing ship on Nili's river when the red player was already there. As opposed to going for a fire galley, DauT could be the one putting pressure against Nili. Instead, it's going to be Nili pushing DauT away from his water and pushing DauT away from DauT's own water as well. They're really trying to. Second fire galley on the way for Nili. 2 fire galleys right now for DauT. Of course, one of these is going to be less than full HP. So Nili looks like he should be in a good spot. And now he's bringing the archers behind the wood line. Must be careful. The skirmishers are coming over from DauT. Nili already got away with walling in all the resources from DauT over here. At the very least, the gold. He is trying to wall in also. The stone, too. And there we are. Fantastic. DauT's defenses have been enough so far for the most part. Legends coming in now for Nili, not so much for DauT, and so far the red player is looking really, really good. Let me take a look at the APM. Nili seems to be outpacing DauT right now. What is this, a battle for a spot in team game matches for GL? You know, Nili is usually considered to be the weakling in the team, but of course that might have changed compared to the last time around that we saw a show match between GL members over here involving Nili. In game number 2 at the very least, he's looking stronger compared to DauT. We'll see how the rest of the show match goes, of course. We'll see how the rest of this game goes. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it's going to be the one-sided stomp that you probably would have expected to see between Nili and DauT, favoring the sad panda, of course. If you were to see a show match like this, maybe 3 years ago, perhaps? Yeah. That has a spot because Nili is the weak one. Well, he might still be a little bit weaker compared to the rest of the players, but he's still plenty strong on his own right? You don't get to top 100 without being good. But yeah, it seems like at the very least the gap is closing a little bit. And it makes sense. Nili has been prioritizing his gameplay skills in the last couple of months. Remember, he used to be the tournament coordinator for Microsoft, for the Age of Empires franchise, or for World's Edge. I'm not really sure under which company he was operating for. But then he quit in order to pursue... There we are. In order to pursue the competitive scene, and he's been prioritizing gameplay for the last couple of months, and we're gonna see if that is going to pay dividends or not. Once again, so far game number 2 is looking decidedly better for Nili. He will be the first player to get to the castle age by a long shot. In DauT, that's not even clicked up yet, and Nili's there already. So just a few knights from the red player should suffice to counter pretty much anything DauT has to go for in the field age. Nili is a monster, but not compared to the others. So you could say that Nili is like Mike Wazowski in Monster Sync. Still very much a monster, but probably not the scariest one. We have crossbows right now for Nili as well, so he's gonna have some knights to defend himself and the crossbows to put pressure with. Two villages down already from DauT. Are we going to get ballistics coming in from Nili at any point in time? He's not going for a university yet. Yeah, and the one knight's not going to suffice. He needs to go for more. He does have a second knight. I'm not really sure where the knight is, though. I think he's sending it forward. Yeah, he is. Alongside the crossroads. Yeah, and so far, it doesn't seem like DauT's going to catch a break to speak of. Nili ended up cleaning up DauT's water presence on DauT's own river. And now it seems like he's going to clean up also the forward dock from DauT. Plus, we have a second TC coming out for Nili. This is, once again, very interesting because as soon as he got to the castle age, the priority for Nili was to defend himself and try to put some pressure with the units that he already had. But notice that he did not really go into too many extra units. Like, he's got some extra archers queued up, and he went for 2 knights. The knights were mostly for defense. But from this point onwards, he's going to exercise on the thing that Hera mentioned during his last Mosmotos interview of just trying to build upon the lead that he already had so that he gets further ahead against DauT, and then it's going to be a much stronger economy, a much stronger lead for Nili in later stages of the game. But he does still have the Knight forward, though, the Scout forward. He will still get a few villages down over here, because if he's not under any pressure, might as well use the units that he already has access to try and increase his lead even further, right? As opposed to going for 1 TC all in. He's just gonna try and... There we go. Beautiful. It's gonna try and increment his lead, and his DauT goes under 50 population and Nili stays above 75. The population lead over here for Nili is going to be of over 50% against DauT, and given the score lead over here for the red player as well, wouldn't be surprised if we saw DauT call the GG very soon. However, he's gonna keep on trying, and Nili, by the minute, is gonna keep on getting further and further ahead. A 30C is on the way already for Nili, and at this point in time, while having a higher worker count, Nili's worker efficiency in the last minute is significantly higher compared to DauT's. Amazing stuff for the red player so far. It's probably not going to be the end of it either. Defensive elite skirmishers already for DauT will push the crosses away. And it seems like that's going to be about it. Yeah. Even when it gets cleaned up over here, it doesn't really matter too much, right? He's got a 4 siege workshop. I really would like for Nili to try and go for military with the surplus resources he gets after killing the villagers, and it seems like he's respecting that priority chain, so to say, or that flow, as he's got 3 villages queued up from 2 TCs, he's got wheelbarrow coming out from the extra TC, and then with any surplus resources, he can try and increase the pressure against DauT over here, so we'll see. Let me get some tea. Yeah, there we go, that's the stuff. Love it. Tea and brine, beautiful combination. Second TC out for DauT. 4 TC on the way for Nili. Damn, boy. Okay. Here we go. Pressure from Nili is real. He's got a hill advantage to work with as well. A second mangonel is just popping out of the Siege Workshop, so that DC is probably gonna be gone very soon, I'd reckon. Fantastic. DC is going down very soon. We have the crossbows, knights, and camels for Nili to defend the siege with as well. Just gotta be careful and try to target the immediately threatening knight over here. He will end up losing one of the manels. 2 manels actually. Only 1 mana left over here for... That was not the best unit control for Nili. But that was still, as he cannot clean up all the manas, he's just going to proceed and call the GG over here. Now that definitely did not go the way that I was expecting it to go. As Nili ended up losing the majority of the units over there, but there was still enough of a lead for him to get the game over here. As DauT calls the GG, it's going to be 1-1. Hey Teo, hi, welcome back. And let's go and take a look at the achievements before jumping into game number 3 then. We're gonna have a better KD for Nili, approaching 4 to actually a little bit higher than 4 to 3. For resources, we're gonna have extra resources collected for Mr. Nili compared to DauT. He ended up collecting 6,700 or close to it extra resources. A higher villager max count as well for Mr. Nili compared to DauT. It was a difference of 30 extra villagers for the villager max count. At the end of the game, Nili ended up losing only 1 villager, while DauT ended up losing about 13 villagers throughout the game. So well done. Gonna jump into game number 3 in just a moment. And here we go, guys. Welcome everyone to game number 3 in the series. DauT playing with the Bulgarians. Is going to play towards the southeast of the map. Nili, on the other hand, playing with the Berbers. Is going to play towards the northwest instead. And we'll see for the civilizations. For DauT civilization, the Bulgarians over here is going to get militia line upgrades for free. So Minotaurs, Lone Swords, 200 Swordsmen. The upgrades will be available for free. For DauT, there will be research instantly upon reaching the next stage. Hopefully you cannot hear that background sound. And then in addition to that, we're going to see for the Bulgarians also a 50% stone discount on TCs, as opposed to a wood discount like the Britons, right? 50% stone discount. He gets also access to Crep Post. He's going to have with the Bulgarians, in addition to all the things we mentioned already. He's going to get a 50% food discount on blacksmiths and siege workshop upgrades. Well, for the team bonus, the blacksmith's going to work 80% faster, so upgrades will be coming in significantly quicker. Can make a big difference, especially when playing knights against knights, or potentially even minotaurs against minotaurs, if you can get to forging first, or if you're playing with knights, if you can get to something like chain barred armor, right? Faster than your opponent, potentially even plate barred armor in the Imperial Age, can make a big difference. Nili playing with the Berbers will instead get 10% faster moving villagers, as well as 15 and 20% cheaper stable unit production in the castle in Imperial Ages. In addition to that, for Nili civilization, we're gonna have for the team bonus access to Janitor. Let's go and take a look at the map generation. This is TTL2 Acropolis for the map, for game number 3's venue, so to speak, if you were curious about it. But taking a look at the map generation, we'll see that DauT's got the mingle on the right-hand side. He's got the secondary gold towards the south. And then the stones, both of these are going to be on the right-hand side. This one is going to be unwallable. This one, not so much. But yeah, if the players wanted to go for walls because of the nature of Acropolis, they will have to go for walls around their base, kind of like this. That would definitely not be the idea, right? So I don't expect to see something like that. I expect to see instead the walls come up around individual resources, if any. And for Nili, on the other hand, he does have the main goal on the right-hand side, kind of exposed, secondary one on the back, so that one's good. I like it. And then for stone, the main one's going to be towards the northeast. Secondary stone is going to be on the left-hand side. And that's about it. Guys, I have a question for you. Would you or would you not be interested in a video series on YouTube about map scripting? It's something that I've been thinking about for a while. Something that I've been meaning to get into for a while. At the very least, try to get, you know, a grasp of the basics. And if I were to learn the basics of map scripting, I could make videos about it, some tutorial videos about, you know, how to script your own maps. Not very advanced, at the very least, not for the first one, but just the basics, you know, how the structure of the script works, how the syntax works, and how to generate some basic layouts. And then maybe in the future we can have like more advanced tutorials. So make those videos. So I want to know if that's something that you'll be interested in. If you're watching this on YouTube as well, and this show match will go up on YouTube, do let me know as well. Is that something that you'd be interested in? Do let me know. Not really for me? Alright, alright. It's something that I think some people around the community who wish to get involved in tournaments will enjoy, because a lot of the tournaments recently are featuring map scripting contests, and as a matter of fact, it's not only going to give you the possibility of earning a little bit of money, potentially, right, if you win, but it's also going to make your creation be played on in S-tier tournaments, which can be really nice. And I cannot stop mentioning, of course, how in RMS Cup 2, we had the largest map scripting contest in history. And some of the maps that won were created by people making their first maps for the map contest specifically. So people starting to script only already managed to get their creations in S-tier tournaments, so it could be really good. I like to watch new kinds of maps, that's a yes, but I'm not much interested in map generation. So you're not as interested in scripting maps yourself, but you will be interested in seeing new types of maps. Yeah, that makes sense too. But yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, do let me know as well. The game's been pretty stale for the most part. It's been pretty stable, uneventful. The players do begin very far away from each other, so it makes sense. One big difference though is the fact that DauT has already sent villagers out into the valley to collect from the wood. Meanwhile, if you take a look at Nili on the other hand is not really considering that yet, right? He's going to just try and collect from the wood that he's got on the back of his base. And to be fair, I think Nili's wood generation was probably a little bit better compared to DauT's. Like, Nili's got wood lines comparable to these, closer to his DC compared to DauT. So the map generation kind of lends itself for DauT to go out into the open and Nili to stay back. But in the end, it's not going to make too much of a difference, right? Both players will still get access to wood, and yeah, the game has still been pretty uneventful. DauT is gone for one militia only, man at arms right now in the Fuel Age, of course, because of the free upgrade. And he's got a spearman in skirmishers to work with in addition to that. There we go. Yeah, that's pressure over here is respectable. You just gotta take care of this. And he will. He's got the heal advantage, so DauT's gonna try and bring the fight back to where he is going to be the one on the hill. But Nili's not taking the bait. He will still end up losing one of the archers over there. We'll still have 3 skirmishes over here from DauT. And good unit control. He takes yet another archer from Nili. The scout left from the red player is not going to be particularly high HP either. So DauT is looking alright. He's going back though. Bringing a few extra skirmishers, trying to regroup his army. Here we go. Fantastic. Now Nili's gonna be the one trying to put some pressure on DauT. He's getting a defensive. Second stable, alright. So 2 still play for DauT. He's gonna stick to full fuel. Well, he's got a blacksmith on the way. Remember, he gets a 50% food discount on blacksmith upgrades. So going for scale bar than armor, going for forging is going to be cheaper for him, and going for, yeah, there we go. Scale bar than armor's on the way. And going for the upgrades is going to be significantly faster for him because of the 80% faster working speed. There you are. Yeah, now his scouts should be stronger compared to Nili's. And they are. And they will clean Nili's scouts up so long as DauT tries to stay away from the spearman. He does end up taking an engagement against the spearman over there and losing the scout because of it, but he will still have enough scouts left to take the rest of the scouts down from Nili. He's going to take on the spearman over here. That was not the best in control for DauT though in the end. He does still has about 3 scouts over here, and he's going to keep on going for skirmishes, not just scouts. As now it's not going to be only spearmen but also archers coming in from Nili, and the longer the red player has to work with over here, the more time he's got to mass these units, the harder it's going to be for just scouts to hold on against these guys. So skirmishers are definitely necessary. Skirmishers and scouts. Bloodin's on the way now for DauT as well. He's got fletching. Oh, but it's open! DauT over top! So Nili can't come in, and he will. However, no villagers go down from the bull player yet. However, we do have a few weak ones, and this is such a disaster area for DauT. Such a hectic, such a messy game for DauT. Such a hectic position for DauT for sure. Beautiful. Good defense for DauT still though, but it's a little bit more of a struggle by the minute. The longer these archers stay here for Nili, the more villagers they're going to be able to get. And so far they've gotten 4 villagers. You can see one of the freshly deceased ones over there. You can see another one over here as well. Yeah, and he finally plugs the hole over there, but Nili still keeps on putting pressure, and he's starting to build a very nice lead for himself. And DauT, he was looking a little bit stronger earlier when he was making the play for scouts, right? But now Nili, pushing the villagers away from the wood over here, was able to make DauT's economy much less efficient. And it's open still! It's open still in between the house and the barracks. So here come the scouts, and if Nili plays the scouts right over here, with good unit control, might be able to clean out the units from DauT for the most part. The skirmishes should be going down to the scouts as well for the red player. And if we have still archers left for Nili, do we? We have only 1 archer left for Nili over there. It seems like he's going to lose it in the end. Yeah, and DauT will successfully defend himself against this push once again, but It's also going to come at the cost of his economy, which remains less efficient compared to Nili. And there we are. Beautiful. There we go. Scout still taking a lot of damage over here. And it seems like DauT is coming out on top over here with the scouts in the end. Nili gets pushed away. The KD is favoring DauT quite a lot, even if he was the one to take the most villager losses. If he holds on to a good amount of scouts, still after the engagements over here, might be able to take a bunch of villagers down from Nili. He was also able to scrap resources together to go out to the castle significantly earlier compared to Nili, who is going to commit to full fuel H over here. He's going for a big push. He's got 6 archers. He's got scouts. Spearmen going for. Meanwhile, DauT's got just scouts pushing in. But Nili should be able to defend himself at the very least. That should be the case. He's got extra spearmen queued up, Nili, that is. Although he's kind of house right now. But this could be good though for Nili. DauT's getting pushed away. Even if DauT did not get pushed away from the wood line over here, there's so little wood left. He'll have to go elsewhere. And it seems like we're gonna see a big engagement over here. As the villagers from DauT are going down to the scouts in the archers from Nili, that's going to sum up to 7 losses in villagers for DauT already after the doink over there. And it's not the end of it at all. He might be on his way to the castle age, but Nili, he's got a lot of units roaming around DauT. He's got 0 wood. He's got 0 lumberjacks. He's gonna try and collect from the straggler trees over there, but it's not the best position for DauT to find himself in. As Nili is going and striking the goal right now as well. If he's able to deny the goal from DauT, and if he's able to prevent DauT from collecting wood efficiently rather in the future, then it might not matter that Nili is in the village still, right? He's got right now a lot of extra military units, almost 3 times the military count compared to DauT. It'd be really wise for Nili to try and stay close to the gold over there, or at the very least leave a few of the archers. Like, he's sending extra units in, right? Just keep some of the archers over here close to the gold, and then you can regroup with the rest of the units you're sending forward as well to keep on putting pressure now. Now gets to the castle age. He's got 10 scouts to work with chain bar and armor and light cavalry. These will become significantly harder to fight against. But Nili's got the numbers still. When I say usually the numbers trump upgrades, I am not really sure about this much though. That's a lot of light cavalry from DauT, so we'll see. We'll see if Nili can take the engagement. He does have the meat shield. He's got the spearmen over there. He's got the archers as well. On paper, Nili should be able to take a better engagement over here just by numbers, and the HP pool over there favors Nili a little bit more, but now we have knights on the way for DauT as well, so you might be able to clean that army up. Yep, like I've already come out on top. Well done. And DauT is in the castle age while Nili is nowhere near, as he has not clicked up yet. And even though the bull player ends up losing a few extra villagers over here to the scouts, he now has a working army to go forward and put pressure with. Nili, very importantly, needs to start going for extra spearmen right now and just put them all around his base. He knows he's going to be facing light cavalry. He knows he's going to be facing knights potentially, as we see extra knights on the way for DauT. And he knows that a small amount of spear will not suffice to put pressure or to defend himself successfully against DauT's army. So we'll see. He's going for more. He's going after the castle age as well. He does have 2 barracks and he's producing from only 1 of these, so... Okay, there we go. Now he's producing from more. Here we go. Yeah, and the spearmen are actually doing really well against the cavalry from that. He's holding really well. That's a lot of spearmen over here. That already has chain, barbed armor, and iron casting though. So a few extra knights will clean these units up. And now he'll finally be able to start collecting, reaping the rewards over here. With the spearmen going down, his economy is gonna be completely exposed. Take a look at the amount of villagers over here left. Completely out in the open, and he's gonna start losing a lot of these. 3 knights will still be enough for that to get a lot of villagers down. And he's got only a 5 villager lead against the blue player, but if he plays his cards right, that should be able to compensate for that without too many issues. Just gotta take advantage of the mobility of the knights over here and stay away from the spearmen. And now that Nili has gotten to the castle age and he gets 15% cheaper stable unit production, we see the camels come out for the red player, and DauT in the end ends up losing the units, but he was able for the most part to catch up in worker count. This is really interesting to see because DauT, he did take the most villager losses in this game by a lot. 14 villagers lost versus 8 villagers killed for the bull player. But because of Nili's extremely high idle TC time up until this point, that was able to catch up in worker count and actually even get ahead right now compared to Nili. And this is interesting to see for multiple reasons. At this level, you cannot let this happen. If you're in Nili's position and you're struggling to keep your TCs working, it's terrible because your opponent's going to compensate for so much potential damage, right? Like DauT took a lot of villager losses, and in the end, it doesn't matter. There we go. Nice. Oh, it's starting to rain here. Okay. Ah, I love that. I love the rain. Summer rain is my favorite. The day is not too cold, so the rain is kind of refreshing. And the water's not too cold because of it being summer, right? So you can actually go out and walk under the rain if you want. Or if you get caught in the rain, it's not going to be annoying. Well, for me, it's not. A lot of people don't like getting wet anyway. But still. Beautiful. There you are. Three TCs already up for Nili. DauT is on 2 TCs. The villager lead that DauT was able to get for himself a little while ago is no more, as now Nili is on 6 extra workers compared to DauT. DauT instead is going to be the one putting the most pressure for the most part. Nice quick walls. One eye will go down because of it. Not really sure if it was worth the villager working time and the resources, but got it. Beautiful. Yeah, and DauT's pressure over here is starting to get a little bit too strong. Ideally, he would want to go for a forward siege workshop as well. Probably around this area. If he could get the siege workshop up around here, actually, that'd be probably the best for DauT. Otherwise, he's gonna be fighting uphill with the siege weapons. Or maybe over the left-hand side, perhaps. I'm actually not really sure there's enough space over here for a 4x4 building. I think there might be. There we go. Conversions coming in from Nili. Well done. He does end up pushing DauT away. And the military lead that we had for the Wool player has kind of dwindled already. Although he did manage to get some knights on the back. He does take one village down. He's probably going to end up getting yet another village down, but... yes, there we go. He ended up losing one of these to the conversions. And yeah, DauT's pressure over here is not strong enough anymore. Just a minute ago, it was looking very good, but he stopped going for extra units. He did not go for siege workshops, and he managed to get enough camels to push DauT away. Now it's just going to be a race to the Imperial Age by the looks of things. Now it's got the 4 TC on the way. He's got a crep post coming up in between the 2 forward TCs. So there's that. Chimbardan armor on the way for Nili. On the right hand side we have a castle on the way for Nili as well. Trying to secure some of the neutral resources. But DauT's coming this direction. He's going to realize about this though. Just by one tile. DauT misses on the opportunity. Potentially denying the castle. Getting a bunch of villagers down instead. He's got the knights forward. On top of the Acropolis for Nili, and he'll try to get the braids going. He might actually be able to get away with some damage over here, right? Nili's got one monk, which could potentially get a conversion over there, but that's still a lot of knights over here still left for DauT. Plus, the amount of villagers available from Nili around the TC, he won't be able to garrison all of these. So he is bound to take a few losses, and he will. Meanwhile, on the other side, we'll see a counter push coming in from Nili with a larger amount of military units. Twice the military count right now for Nili compared to DauT. The raid on the right hand side up in the north is going to dwindle as well, as Nili will effectively clean up the units from DauT after the Bull player has already gotten away with some kills though, so equalizing the KD, or the villager count rather. And then on the right hand side towards the south, DauT will be able to stabilize against Nili's push himself by getting a defensive crep post and sending whatever remaining units left he had back to defend himself against Nili's push. And you know what? Nili's score over here is a little bit higher compared to DauT's. Yeah, it's interesting to see for sure. 4 than 50 Cs on the way for Nili. DauT was already on 40 Cs. He's not going for the 5th one yet. But the game has kind of stabilized over here. Kind of equalized a little bit as well, even if DauT's got less than half the military count compared to Nili, so long as he's able to defend himself successfully, right? It's not going to make too much of a difference. This game is already kind of compensating for the first few games being a little bit shorter. Yeah, and it seems like we are going to get into the Imperial Age from both these players, which is nice. Here we go. Up in the north, once again, DauT's going over to the same old tire woodline from Nili. to get the raids going. He will get a few extra villagers over here. The old reliable is going to reap a few extra villagers for DauT to collect over here, but still, he ends up getting cleaned up for the most part, right? We have the camels for Nili, so DauT's going to get cleaned up. And the problem here is that every time the DauT's gone for, well, he's been able to find some villagers. His military keeps on shrinking more and more. The military count for DauT right now is worryingly low at 15 military, and if Nili brings all the units he's got right now forward to try and raid with, I don't think that DauT's going to have what it takes to defend himself. Sure, he's got some crepos. He's got 2 crepos, right? One on the Acropolis, one on the valley, but that's only going to provide so much protection, and there's still going to be a lot of economy exposed for DauT. For instance, the left-hand side TC, all the farmers around it, he's going to be able to garrison only 15 out of these, and the rest are going to be exposed. On the right-hand side, we have stone miners from DauT. And then on the left-hand side, this DC in the valley is going to be too far away from the crepos for him to defend with just a fortification. So Nili, if he just sends everything forward right now, he might actually be able to suppress DauT enough to force a GG out of him. So we'll see. He's coming in, he's going over the left-hand side. That's going to realize about this, and he will try to garrison the villages. Once again, he does not have enough space on the TC to garrison everything, but Nili, I would imagine, is probably gonna try. Is going to be more interested in going further forward as opposed to just trying to fight underneath the TC and close to the crepos, right? He's going back though. Okay. And DauT, that's gonna keep on trying to get the raids going here. The unit that the blue players got to work with right now, at the very least, is going to be more resilient compared to what he was raiding with earlier. Knights, they do go down to the camels pretty easily, and they're done for. However, every time that a conic goes down over here, it just switches from mounted conic to dismounted conic, so it's still going to keep on doing a little bit more damage, and does. Will allow DauT to sustain his push a little bit more. Yeah, you can see the dismounted conics. Beautiful little units. Yeah, will allow DauT to keep on putting a little bit of extra pressure. Outpost for Nili. Mining camp from DauT on the right hand side. Left hand side we see a crepos coming after that. And this is beautiful. This way DauT's going to kind of patch up some of the vulnerabilities around his base. With this crepos in between both TCs but closer to the right hand side in the valley, DauT was able to provide protection to, for the most part, the second or the TC on the right hand side, right? With this one on the left hand side, now that's going to also provide protection to the left hand side TC plus the coal miners. So it's good. I would say the only location where DauT is still kind of exposed and he would benefit from another crepos is the left hand side on top of the Acropolis. Hey, wait a moment. What happened over here? Unexpected error encountered in the application. H2 connection lost. The game is crashing. Wait, what? Is it crashing actually? Yeah, the game crashed. Okay. We're 52 minutes into the game. This is not good. You're gonna have to give me a moment then. And I'll just try to fast forward in game. Hey! There we are! So the first time was a crash. The second time was a crash. The third time's the charm. And guys, we resume coverage of game number 3 in this best of 11 series between DauT and Nili. It took a while actually for us to continue casting this. I think it's been like 10 minutes, 13 minutes of troubleshooting, but of course if you're watching this on YouTube, it's just going to be a single video. And yeah, Imperial Age is on the way for Nili, Imperial Age is on the way for DauT. And this is great. The game looks kind of slow right now because I was fast forwarding in the game client on its own without Capture H open, so now Capture H looks really slow, but it's natural. Crepos on the way now for DauT as well. We were talking about the crepos protection. Oh, not being the best in this is disaster. DauT just lost in the span of 1 minute north of 10 villagers around there. My lord, that was not good. And this comes from the villagers running out of gold and going over to the next goal on their own, I think. But I don't think there was a gold over here that he was collecting from on the right-hand side, right? Because we didn't really have a mining camp over here. Wow. Alright, Bailo. I'll see you next time. Enjoy. And have a good one. There we go, the Conics. Could get some good damage done. Just gotta be careful, of course. We have camels for Nili. And DauT's a little related to the Imperial Age. Nili will already have chemistry very soon. He's already gone for Bracer. DauT, on the other hand, is going to struggle, of course, as he's going for plate part and armor only now. At the very least, it does research faster because of the Bulgarian bonus, and it's going to come in cheaper. Only on the other hand, he's getting the 60 C up, the 70 C up, as a matter of fact. Here are these in 6. It's going for the first castle. Nili, he already gets a trebuchet. DauT's gonna need to wait for the castle to come up first. Seahorse Gallop, thank you so much. Prime time viewing, it's very much appreciated. 27 months. That's already well over 2 years, so I appreciate the excellent support. As always, Seahorse Gallop, thank you so much. Coming in with Prime Gaming as well, which I love. Doesn't cost any extra money for you. I still get my revenue share. Yeah, one of the best types of subscriptions, right? Alright, heavy camels coming in for Nili. We have conscription coming out for him as well. DauT, on the other hand, he's got elite Conics on the way and blast furnace. This is going to make a nice difference for him. The elite Conics get 1 extra pierce armor, so it's going to be as good as a knight or a cavalier with bloodlines right now against range units. And he's coming in against the camel archers. He's going to struggle though. The camels are over there as well, the standard ones. And with the heavy camel upgrade coming in just 10 seconds away for Nili, the Conics on their own will not be strong enough, I reckon. Play Bard and Armors on the way now for Nili as well, to finish completely upgrading those camels. On the right hand side, that's going to be the one putting pressure as well. And right now, it seems that we have a little bit of a shift of momentum. It was up until this point, DauT trying to do his best to get the raids going, the sneaky raids going on the back of Nili's base, but Nili for the most part was the one putting the most pressure up. However, as we get into the later stages of the game, we are going to see this effect that I sometimes mention of higher level players usually doing a lot better in later stages of the game. And DauT, well, DauT's going to be definitely a juggernaut on late stages of the game. Nili's no stranger to late games himself, being a seasoned deathmatch player. He has had plenty of experience playing already on late game situations with strong economies and strong military production, as well as high APM situations. However, I would say in a standard game, I'm probably favoring DauT a little bit more now. This is not good though. DauT's about to lose a lot of villages. He's been losing a lot of villages trying to get the cripples up over there. He never had enough to defend his villagers against camel archers from Nili, but DauT's gonna keep on going for more units. If he plays his cards right over here, might be able to shrink the lead that Nili has built for himself. But right now, he's looking strong. He's got town patrol right now on the way. This is not something you see every day. It's going to be great for map presence, or at the very least map vision. Oh, we have Azar actually for Nili, so this could be really good. Scat 11, sending these forward, and the raid's going to ensue. This could be really good for Nili. He's got right now. Also, I'm trying to remember the name of the upgrade on my own. I cannot. Megrabi? Ah, I could not see in the end, but I think it's Megrabi camels. So Nili's camels will regen HP on their own. And this will allow Nili to sustain his military a lot better. If he takes an engagement and ends up with a lot of weak units, then pulls those units away. The camels will regenerate HP on their own, right? So yeah, you can see. 49, 50, right? 51 HP for the camel. And with a full army, it's probably as good as having 1 or 2 monks healing your army up in terms of average HP gain. But yeah, DauT's once again kind of trying to close the gap. He's got squires, he's got chainmail armor. Only spearman right now though. If he was trying to make a play for half of the year, he's got a long ways to go. However, for the dismounted conics, chainmail armor is still going to be very effective. Squire is going to be very effective as well. And now, here comes the raid once again from DauT. Continuing on what he's been going for the vast majority of the last 20 minutes or so, trying to send a small stealth raids over here and get as much damage done as humanly possible. And by that, he will be able to reduce the lead for Nili by a lot. Now we have a lot of camels over here as well. Camel archers and camel riders from Nili, but it's not going to be enough for him to protect the trebuchets. And we're going to see both these trebuchets go down. The very least one has gone down. And the other one seems like it's going down as well. And both the trebuchets down. 800 resources down the drain for Nili. DauT's able to keep the cripples up on the right hand side. This puts DauT in a little bit of a better position, but he still lags behind in population against Nili by a lot. He needs to go for extra villagers, and he is. Nili needs to go for extra villagers, and he is going for more. Beautiful. There you are. It's good. Left hand side. Extra TC on the way. Now for Mr. DauT as well. Purples might go down from DauT, still struggling to keep up. With military production and the 20% discount for Nili stable units right now is coming in quite handy. He's producing from up to 8 stables I saw. Yeah, there we go. I think he might have only 8 stables. Well, quote unquote only, right? Let's check. Yep. There's an 8 stables and he'll be able to produce from these for cheaper. And DauT's still struggling to even get past 130 population. Nili is building upon his lead by a lot. And DauT's got some sneaky stables on the left hand side that I don't think Nili is aware of. And he knows about only one of these. And that could very well try to make a play for Hussar himself. Right now he's got only light cavalry though. I am pretty sure that the Bulgarians get Hussar, right? Let me take a look. Just to be safe. Yeah, there we go. They do get Hussar. Thought so. You're right, Bailo? Yes. And the raids from Nili are starting to get too strong for DauT to hold on against. The villager count is crumbling right now for the Bull player, losing villagers on the left hand side. And just going on to call the GG over here after Nili gets 200 population. DauT is unable to keep up, so that's going to be 2-1 in favor of Nili right now. And this best of 11 series is going to start already with a, I would say, by most people, probably an unexpected result. As Nili's ahead. We'll see what we get for game number 4. But DauT's got to catch up. Hey, Manfred. I guess there isn't really too much of a point going for the achievements right now because the game had crashed 52 minutes into the game. We had to restore this one 2 times, actually. It crashed again on the second attempt, and for the third attempt, it thankfully worked, but anyway. I would imagine this is still total, right? Even if we don't see everything. Like over here, for instance, you can see that DauT had already collected up until this point 42,000 resources. So it seems like we still have some aggregates, just not for everything. Yeah, the unit KD seems to be about right. Alright, well, there's certainly merit over here. Nili did go for 177 total villagers, 121 villages at the end of the game, so he ended up losing a lot, but DauT lost so many, 130 villages going down for the Bull player. And welcome you guys today to the next game of the series, game number 4, Nomad. DauT playing with Malians, Nili playing with Persians. These are very standard civilizations for this map. Was this the one where Nili lost connection? Never mind my question. I don't know in which one the players lost connection, but hopefully we're not going to have too many issues in that regard. My takeaway is that apparently even a pro player can allow a modest 53 minutes of idle time. My Dark Age builds already look excellent. Seems about right. But anyway, let's talk about the civilizations. DauT playing up in the north is going to play with Malians. That means that he gets 30% longer lasting golds. It's going to have a 15% wood discount on buildings, in addition to 1 extra pier, summer and barracks units per age, starting in the feudal age up to +3 in the imperial age. And for the team bonus, Malians also get 80% faster working universities. New civilization, the Persians will provide them with twice the HP on docks and TCs instead, which work 10, 15, and 20% faster in the feudal castle and imperial ages. In addition to 50 extra wood, 50 extra food upon starting the game, making it a little bit smoother for him to go for the dock right away. Oh, but check this out! DauT actually got walled by Nili, and silly Nili gets the kill against DauT's villager, as DauT gets trapped by Nili's villager over there by the dock, and that was really well played from the red player. However, it did delay his own dock. The good thing about this, though, is that now Nili knows where DauT is. DauT won't necessarily know where Nili is, but he should be expecting Nili to be somewhere around the dock, right? Because that's the only reason why Nili would have a villager so far away from the TC. Although, that'd be only if DauT knew about the TC location for Nili in the first place. He's got no idea. So for all he knows, Nili might be actually on the left-hand side, and the dock might be coming up on the right-hand side. But it's going to be really good for the red player. Now, he's got 1 extra villager. He's got a dock already up, and because he knows where DauT's dock is, and he knows that DauT's going to be completely cornered, because he already saw that this is connected, this land is connected, right? This could be really good in DauT. DauT is getting some scouting information himself, and now he's going to try to go for the same, and he's not going to let DauT have it. And that was so close. DauT got a little bit greedy over there. Otherwise, he might have been able to secure the kill, but yeah. So it's like they paused at that time and discussed if it was allowed, and it was. Let's see. Missed a bit of this match, but the next one is insanely good based on the saves. So is this. Should be good. Yes. And we talked about the civilizations. The one thing I didn't mention for the Persians yet is the fact that the team bonus for them is going to give them 2 bonus damage from Nightline units against archer type units. And notice how DauT was trying to body block the villager from Nili so that every punch from the woman was going to still allow him to stay close, and Nili wouldn't be able to go for some quick walls. We'll see though. Nili's gaining some distance by using the cow to body block the villager from DauT, but in the end he does end up taking another punch. Yeah, and it seems like in the end Nili will go down. Will he though? He's coming back to the TC. He's very close. DauT's gotta be careful. Yeah, and that knows. That knows not to keep on chasing forever, and Nili will be able to save the villager, so in the end he is still 2 workers ahead. 3 workers ahead actually right now compared to DauT, interestingly enough. Yeah, and now the game has stabilized for the most part. Let's take a look at the TC location for both these players. Starting with the blue player, we can see that DauT got the TC right next to a goal. That's beautiful. He's got the wool line over here as well. The stone's going to be towards the south. He is already aware of this. And then he's got extra stones on the left-hand side towards the north, and then extra gold over here towards the northwest as well. So it's good. And it shouldn't be too difficult for DauT to defend his base over here for the most part. Just some walls. Potentially from here to here, and here to here, and here to here should already secure for the most part this gold, the stone, the berries, right? All of this area. While if we take a look at Nili on the other hand, the red player, is gonna have the main goal on the right hand side over here. I'm calling this one the main goal. In all honesty, the goals are all the same on Nomad, but this is the one that is closest to his TC, so I'm just going to refer to it as the main one. Then we have a secondary goal over here on the left hand side that is a little bit farther away. And then he's got a stone to the right hand side as well. You could refer to this as the main stone for him. But it doesn't seem to be particularly good. It's good compared to DauT's TC location, right? The gold's farther away, the stone is farther away, the gold over here on the left-hand side, the other stone on the left-hand side, those are very far away as well. Even the berries are kind of far away. Could potentially leave the forages exposed. For walls, well, we could see Nili go for something like this. And yeah, that should be good, right? For the most part. He's gonna need to wall himself on the left-hand side if he wants to be safe as well. Maybe something like this. Yeah, but he should be able to secure 1 gold and 1 stone. So overall, it's still going to be kind of comparable. Even if the layout is very different, I would say the amount of resources saved for both these players is going to be comparable. DauT's got a lot of catching up to do over here, though. He's the player coming in as a favorite in the matchup over here, and Nili is looking very strong in game number 4, as he was already able to take game number 2 and game number 3. We'll see what we get for this one. You know, we are close to 2 hours into the stream right now. I'm pretty sure the YouTube video is going to be shorter because of all the downtime, especially with trying to recover the previous game. But if this does go the distance, this could very well end up being a particularly long one. We'll see. Extra dock on the way for DauT. This is going to be the 3rd total dock. While Nili, on the other hand, he's got 3 docks himself as well. DauT gets to the VLH a little bit later compared to Nili, and the red player is going to start going for galleys instead. With a head start to the VLH, he might be able to mass a good amount of galleys. The thing, interestingly enough, though, is that he's gone for 2 galleys, and then the rest are going to be fire galleys, if the queue is to be believed. DauT, on the other hand, he's got just fire galleys coming out right now, so we'll see. Here you are. Fire guy is coming out now. Nili. There we go. One fish going down already from Nili, and DauT still has some catching up to do. Still 2 workers behind. He has gotten a little bit of of an advantage already in idle TC time though, so at the very least he might be able to catch up that way, as Nili is racking up a little bit of extra idle TC time. Demolition Raft. Could be good for Nili. DauT's gotta be careful. Military count is favoring the red player heavily. That was a little bit lackluster. But this was good though. Extra fire gun is on the way for DauT, still on the same dog count total compared to Nili. Oh, this is beautiful! DauT manages to find exposed fishing ships over here. So this way he might be able to catch up in working count a little bit once again, but yeah, after the losses that he's been taking himself as well, it's not going to be the easiest ride. Seems like both these players in the end are going to end up losing all the fishing ships anyway. That went for the walls, Nili went for the walls right next to DauT's over there as well, so the only connection between the players will be through the left-hand side. Which both players should be aware of already, right? Like, Nili knows. And DauT on the other hand, yeah, he should know that it's connected on the left-hand side, even if he has not gotten vision yet. Nice lanes coming out from Nili once again. Here we go. Fantastic. Nili should be able to defend on the right hand side. He should be able to hold on to the lead. Right now, he's extended his worker lead to 6 extra workers compared to DauT, despite the fact that he's got a little bit of extra idle TC time. The Persians' faster working TCs and faster working docks have allowed Nili to get a lead not only on land over here, but also water, right? Simply by virtue of producing the Navy units faster and being able to outproduce DauT. He does end up spending extra resources to get the units out, of course. But he does also have a stronger economy, working economy, with 5 extra villagers at this point, just from the faster working TC. Market on the way now for that as well. He's gonna try to go up. Nili, if he went for a market, he's got a lot of other villagers over here. If he went for a market, he should be able to buy his way to the castle age. Take a look at the amount of gold he's got right now. We'll see how long Nili takes to realize about those villagers. It's going to take a while. It seems the red player over here is just trying to focus on military control for the most part. It's going to be a little bit of tunneling from Mr. Nili. Hey, there we go. He went for the market. He still did not realize about his 5 idle villagers, which kind of makes the economy somewhat even between both these players. He should be on his way to the castle age very soon. He's missing 1 extra fuel age building. And now he realized, how long have these villagers been idle actually? Oh boy, that is a long time. The last minute, of course, 100% idle. Or, well, now they're moving, but not collecting any resources. And lifetime is not the best. 63% of efficiency in the lifetime of these villages is big oof. You take a look at these villages, for instance, and that's going to be 82%, so much higher. So that's certainly going to allow DauT to catch up a little bit. Let's take a look at their economy time so far. It's looking better for Nili by about half an hour, 31 minutes. DauT, on the other hand, he is going out to the Castle H a little bit earlier with a somewhat smaller economy. But once he gets there, though, he should be able to try and catch up by going for the extra TCs. Now, the question, I guess, it becomes, what will DauT do? Will he try to compensate over here for his deficit in this game by going for 1 TC full push? Or is he going to try something else? Still on the way now for Nili. Seems like he'll be the one putting some pressure up over here. Despite already having a clear score lead. Once he gets to the Castle Age, that score is going to increase by 200. Yeah, there we go. So what is the plan right now? Nili is not going immediately for any extra TCs, although he does have the resources for it. Maybe he's just not realized where to go for one. And DauT's got a sneaky stable on the left of Nili's base. He's got a second TC coming up himself as well. This is not too bad. Nili's got the second TC now on the way. But DauT's gone for War Galley as well, so he's not completely given up on water. Nili, he's got the War Galley upgrade himself. He does have significantly more Navy units, 10 fire ships and 2 demolition ships versus 3 fire ships from DauT and 1 demolition ship. This is not ideal for the Bull player, I'll tell you that much. As DauT's most likely not going to get cleaned up over here. He's going to need to make something else work elsewhere. There's a good demo shot. At the very least, DauT will be able to get some of the fishing ships down from Nili. Actually, all of them. Nili had only 2. And this allows DauT to kind of stay close in villager count or worker count over here. Nobody's got any fishing ships anymore. Going for extra Navy units right now for DauT would be a big mistake in my opinion. Good thing that he's not going for it. Nili, on the other hand, he already has a substantial enough lead that he shouldn't really be going for any extra units, lest he realizes DauT is going for some himself. And so long as the Bull player doesn't go for it, Nili's not going to invest any extra resources on water anymore. No threat to see on the way for anybody, although Nili's got the resources for it. He could go for one. Instead, it's going to be DauT putting pressure. And the TC attempt from Nili is going to allow him to realize about this. So he's going for the TC in between the stable and the siege workshop. What is this? For all he knew, DauT could have had the mana already queued up, right? So going for the TC over here is extremely risky for Nili. We could see a mana come out and just go for the TC over there, try to take the foundation down as soon as he got placed, but Nili got lucky over there, and DauT did not really have manas on the way. Monk from the red player will allow him to defend himself against the knights from DauT, potentially even camels. But we have the mana out already. Monk from DauT's not going to achieve much of anything. The scout cavalry from Nili takes it down right away. Yeah, and up in the north, that was trying to go for the stone. He realizes about the walls right now. I'm not really sure if he knows about the walls around the gold even. Well, he should be expecting it. He already sees a house and a palisade. And he starts capitalizing on the water control once again. Starts going for a few extra fishing ships. Regardless, he still falls behind in worker count as the idle TC time is substantial for Nili. Going for a few fishing ships over there is not going to make up for having over 7 minutes of extra idle TC time compared to that. Close to 7.5 minutes even. No extra pressure coming in from DauT whatsoever. Nili goes on to collect the relics and DauT. Well, DauT's got 3 TCs. He's got access to gold still. This one will not really last for too much longer though, I think. 2,000. And he'll have to clean this up eventually. No extra siege for DauT, no extra cavalry for DauT, no extra nothing. I might get a conversion here though. Not quite. Alright, it's going back. And the game has stabilized. Doesn't seem like we'll get too much action until the players probably get up to the Imperial Age. DauT, he is still ahead by about 5 workers at this point in time, Nili. On the other hand, he's just trying to focus on the economy. He's got wheelbarrow on the way. That's not gone for wheelbarrow yet. He has gone for heavy plow, however. But Nili is going to have bow saw as an advantage, while DauT right now he's got just double bit X. Here we go. That's wheelbarrows coming in right now for DauT, trying to keep up with the economy still. It's going to allow him just to catch up, of course, as Nili already had wheelbarrow. He's going for a handguard. The rest of the upgrades are going to be a little bit of a wash, without still having heavy plow over Nili and Nili still having bosa over DauT. Wheelbarrow for both these players is going to be good, but Nili getting actually getting handguard over here should be able to build onto his lead a little bit more. He's got some 4 monks though. We'll see if he can make this work. He's got Bakinaro on the way as well. What is the plan? We have 4 TCs for both these players. They are too far away and do not seem to be interested in putting too much pressure to speak up. Here we are. Siege workshop on the way now for DauT as well. And Nili, he should be on his way to the Imperial Age very soon. He's got the resources. He doesn't have the buildings though, and this happens so often. Even to pro players, he's gonna try and rush the university. And this happened to Nili when going after the Castle Age as well. He was missing 1 building. DauT instead, he's got his own castle on the way. Once the castle comes up, he should have enough resources to click up to the Imperial Age himself. Here we go. Fantastic. Imperialist on the way now for DauT as well. In addition to Nili. And the castle coming up for Nili is going to be a 4-1. Because he's got a significant head start already to the Imperial Age of about 1 minute and 19 seconds or so. By the time DauT gets to the Imperial Age, Nili should already have a trebuchet out. The one thing that really favors DauT though is that at the very least he's got a little bit of a hill advantage over here, so he's built a castle on top of hill. If you take a look at Nili, it's going to be on flat ground. Oh, DauT is starting to go for some navy though, and Nili's realizing about this. And let's take a look at DauT! Some big bangs coming in! And bam! That is a nice set of demo shots from Nili onto DauT's navy, and he will clean this up in the end. Well done. That was not paying the most attention over there that I have seen. but it's great to see. Lowlands coming in for DauT. Handcard. Forging on the way for DauT as well. Mixed stables for the Wu player, and the players are just trying to gear up over here to start putting pressure as the villager count is getting as high as the players need to. Just a few extra villagers left for both these players to get to the 130 or so sweet spot for late game military production. We see a bunch of upgrades coming in for both players, and this is going for Galleon. He's going for chemistry, and he's going also for Commanderant. We have a second castle on the way for Nili as DauT gets to the Imperial Age. We were expecting to see Nili already with a trebuchet, and he does have one out already. Hey, Big Sponge! Hi, how are you doing? Hope you're doing alright. Hope everything's going well for you. Oh, the Showmatch doesn't have a command right now. I don't have a link for the Wikipedia page because I did not want to go and check and get spoiled. This Showmatch took place yesterday, actually, but we were casting T90 Titans League Platinum Division, so we couldn't cast the Showmatch live, so we are casting it right now using Record the Games. Second trebuchet already out for Nili, first trebuchet out for DauT. Once again, the blue player does have the heal advantage though to work with. Heavy camel on the way now for DauT. Yeah, most of the action is going to just take place over here between the castles. So it's just a normal show match? I believe so, yes. I'm not really sure what the prize was for this one. I'm not really sure what the settings were in terms of like hidden pick no repeat, or if they had a draft. I think they might have had a draft. But yeah, I did not want to risk going and fetching that information and then getting spoiled for the result. I have a rough idea of how long the series is, but I don't know how each individual game went, and I do not know who the ultimate winner was. Go Nili, alright. Guess goes down though from Nili as DauT's got both trebuchets left over here to work with. Nili's on 2 trebuchets himself as well, and the players have already started making a transition to bombard cannons, so this will make a big difference. We have 2 already for DauT over there. We have 2 for Nili over here as well. And map control is favoring Nili for the time being, but it's not going to be the case for much longer. Even the unit control for DauT has been fantastic. That is not good unit control though. DauT basically hands over a trebuchet to Nili for him to take. And now, yeah, there we go. Unit control needs to be better. Hey, check this out. The bombard cannons are disappearing once again, and now I think something else disappeared on the right hand side. I'm not really sure. I'm just gonna have to take a look at the game as well to see if it's also disappearing in game, or if it's going to be the case just for capture each. Yeah, it's just the case for capture each. I am checking the game right now, and the game is working fine, so it's just capture each where the bar cannons are disappearing. Here we go. DauT's starting to build some great momentum right now. He's got a higher population compared to Nili. He's got Cavalier on the way. Playboard armors coming in, the bombard cannons and the trebuchet putting pressure against Nili are working really well. The unit control for DauT, for the most part, is going to be pretty decent. Lest the trebuchet that he handed over to Nili earlier. Everything else is looking actually quite good. DauT, he already has heavy camel rider, so he can defend as well as he can attack, right? Of course, once he gets the cavalier upgrade. It's gonna be in a much better position to start putting pressure against Nili now. This castle could go down. We have the bombard cannons over there. They're going to appear again at some point. Come on. Yeah, it's not really working too well. Yeah, you cannot even double click on these. And when they appear, double clicking just selects the 1 star visible at that point in time. Beautiful. Bar cannons keep on moving in. Yeah, and that's just going to be GG from Nili. The infamous Ghost BBC. Well done, DauT catches up over here, equalizes the series 2-2. Let's go through the achievements before jumping into game number 5 to see who gets the lead. We'll see a better KD for DauT, approaching 3-2. We'll see a better economy for DauT as well, in a fantastic position. He ends up collecting about 6,000 extra resources, despite not looking the best earlier, especially around the water. You can take a look at the 50% line over here, where Nili was significantly ahead in work count for a very long time. The players got to the castle age at about the same time, but DauT was able to take advantage of it a little bit more. A little bit better. And here we go, guys. Game number 5 between Nili and DauT will indeed take place in a fortress. And we have Mayans for DauT, we have Portuguese for Nili. What is Brian? Brian is water with salt. It's I think that's the name for it anyway. I know that's what they call where the olive oils are usually stored, and even hard-boiled eggs as well, I think sometimes, but I don't know if it's the name for water with salt for preservation of foods only, or if any amount of salt in the water is also going to qualify as brine. Salty water, basically. It's just to keep electrolytes during the fasting stage. It really brings you up. Anyway, don't imitate me without doing proper research first, all right? Don't take my word as advice or anything like that. I'm just sharing what I'm doing, but this is not encouragement for anybody to go the same route. Like a broth of some sort, just water and salt. That's it. No vegetables, no aggregates. I wouldn't describe it as a broth. Although I guess you could, maybe. Well, let's take a look at the civilizations. DauT playing with the Mayans will get, already as is, 1 extra villager upon starting the game, at the expense of 50 food. Besides that, the Mayans also get 10, 20, 30% cheaper archers in the feudal castle and imperial ages. And we'll see, for the Mayans, 15% longer lasting resources. For the team bonus, they also have 40% cheaper walls. And taking a look at Nili civilization on the other hand, the Portuguese will get 25% wood income from berries, right? So for each unit of berries that he collects, for each unit of food that he collects from the berries, he's going to get 0.25 units of wood. On top of that, the Portuguese will also have access to Faitory in the Imperial Age. They will get a 20% gold discount on units. And for the team bonus, they have 30% faster research and upgrades. Never heard of it? Thanks for the info. Yeah, this is not something that I would have usually. It's just something that I have to have during extended fasting. So like 48 hours, 72 hours. I've never done any more than that. And this is actually my first time trying to go for 72 hours. And there are very good scientific reasons to do it. I'm not just a masochist, don't worry. I have done proper research. Like actually taking a look at scientific papers and stuff. This is not something that I got from a random blog or something. So don't worry about it. I know what I'm doing, I'm safe. And Yeah, there's not something that I consume otherwise. It's just for fasting. Anyway, getting back into this game, we talked about the civilizations already. I don't think the map generation is going to make too much of a difference. Unlike Arena, it's unlikely we're going to see players go for pressure and the TC, or actually the line of sight of the scouts and the vision. Resources inside the walls is going to make much of a difference. We have towers already protecting the wall, so it's not going to be comparable. That's what I'm trying to say. Leave it to us to take it from some random blog. Well, if you took advice from me right now, you would be doing exactly that, right? You cannot trust anybody. Don't trust me. If you ever want to do anything like that, do some proper research as well. Don't just take my word that I already did it and everybody else is safe because of it. I know that concept, but never tried it because I'm getting hungry. Yeah, you get hungry at the very beginning when your body. I don't know if this is the reason why, but I think it might be when your body is expecting to be fed, you're hungry in that period. But if you muscle through that, the feeling of hunger goes away. For instance, right now, I've not had anything in 36 hours, I think. 34 hours, and I do not really feel hungry at all. Sometimes I do feel a little bit down, and the brine helps alleviate that a lot. But I'm not hungry at all anymore. We'll see if I can make it to 72 hours. If I don't stream anymore and I disappear from the face of the earth, you know what happened. And you'll know not to try and do the same. Sang the Hedgehog also approves of it. Gonna go fast and all that. True, true. So the castle is gonna be here very soon from both these players. And what to expect? Well, Nili, with the Portuguese, I'm assuming he's gonna make a play for organ guns. While DauT, on the other hand, I would imagine he's gonna try and make a play for economy instead. And he's got one stone miner, just enough, so that he can get the 2 additional TCs up. Is gonna be very close to having enough food, enough wood, sorry. Well, Nili, on the other hand, he does have the wood to go for extra TCs. He's got the second one on the way. And it seems like it's just going to be 2 extra TCs for everyone, and Nili will not go for the organ play that I thought he might. I could never get myself to not eat for 72 hours. I know that I probably should, but that is something entirely different. I don't know if you should. It's really up to you, right? And I struggled. I do fasting every day, intermittent fasting, so I eat for a window of 6 hours, and I do not eat for 18 hours. That's every day. And then from time to time, I do a little bit more than that. I try to do 24 once a month. Try to do... Well, last year, I tried doing 48, and I succeeded at it, and I did it twice. At the beginning of the year, and then midway through the year, right? And this time around, this year, I'm trying to extend that to 72 hours, and then do the 48 hours once every 3 months, so once a quarter, and then just keep the 24 hours once a month. But you don't have to, really. Like, if you work out and have a healthy lifestyle, that's already going to keep you in pretty good shape. I do it because I'm a madman, and also my lifestyle is not particularly healthy. Even if my diet is good, I think, better than average. I do not work out, for instance. I am sitting all day, and that's not good. So this helps compensate a little bit. Yeah, and it seems like this is going to be pretty uneventful, right? The players are going for the relics right now. DauT. It's taking a little bit longer to get the monks out. Actually, you know what? Nili's not going for monks at all. So that took a little bit longer to get the monastery up over here compared to what he would have if he was playing arena. But Nili's not going for monasteries at all, so it means DauT is going to end up getting all 5. I think we have 5 over here, right? Or was it 4? Let me check. Yeah, it is 5. Yes. There is one map that has starting walls that has only 4 relics. I don't remember which one it is. No food or no solids? No calories, basically. So it's 72 hours. The way that I do it is I just have water, tea. The tea technically has like 2 calories. But yeah, the whole point is to try and not get any calories in. So I'm just having water, tea, and brine. Am I dropping frames or is it stream? Well, on my end, OBS says that we are not dropping any frames and that we are streaming at full quality. If anybody else is having the same issues, let me know. Although I don't think there will be too much for me to do other than just trying to restart the stream, perhaps. Brian talk. Well, we wait for something to happen in this game. Hey, that is a nice snipe, and we get first blood. As DauT loses the monk to the scout over there from Nili. We get a little bit of action. He was going after the relic on the right-hand side. He gets sniped. He does have still 1 extra monk, though. Where is this one? Which relic is he trying to collect? He already collected 1 relic, probably the one down the south. So he needs to send the monks over the left-hand side, up in the north as well. There's plenty to collect. Well, Nili does get a monastery up himself, and he's gonna start going for the relics himself as well. So the one at the center on the left-hand side is guarded by an Eagle Scout. The one up in the north is going to be guarded by an Eagle Scout as well. Let's see if that's gonna be able to get the kill over here, or the conversion is going to come in first. I think the conversion is going to connect, and it does without DauT being able to get a single hit against the monk. It will allow Nili to collect the first relic. He's got the second relic on the way now as well, and DauT so far has collected only 1 relic himself. Once again, he's gonna send the monk over the right-hand side to try and collect the relic that cost his previous monk's life in the past. Still 1 relic left over here. That's going to be the one to the side who's going to come out on top. Let me see if Nili actually knows about the relic location. He does. He knows about 2 remaining relics. Send the monk. Actually send the Eagle Scout over the right-hand side, but that's already collecting this one. Gotta refresh, I guess? Yeah, let me know if that fixes it for you, Manfred. On my end, OBS says that we are good. Fix it? Nice. Beautiful. Oh, and the monk went down from DauT. Nili was able to take it with a Eagle Scout. The relic is too close to DauT's walls for him to struggle to take it. But it's going to be the 3rd try, right? So he ended up losing 2 monks trying to get that one. In the end, DauT's going to be on 3 relics. Nili's going to be on 2 only. However, Nili will be the first player also to go up to the Imperial Age by a lot. There we go. DauT's getting that relic. He's gonna try to take this one. Let's see if Nili will realize about the monk. He does! So DauT is about to lose yet another monk. I think, what is this, the 4th monk? This is going to be the... Yeah, I think it's the 4th monk that he loses. At the very least, the kills from Nili do amount to 4. So in the end, DauT's relics are coming in at a pretty steep cost. It's gonna take some time before the relic, the extra relic, the 1 extra relic compensates for the monks that he lost, but in the end, he will be in a better position because of it. So it's a very interesting game. Fortress. Nili gets to the Imperial Age already. And DauT is only now going up to the Imperial Age himself. He does find himself a 9 extra workers though. 8. Is going for a forward castle. DauT's collecting some stone, but does not have enough to go for a defensive castle yet. Not that he needs to. The castle that Nili is going for is in a location that won't really be putting too much pressure against DauT at all. Beautiful. Oh man, the unit control from DauT is really good. He's got a good amount of bull archers over here, taking all the villagers down. He will be able to deny the castle for the time being. And even if Nili's got skirmishers to push DauT away with over here, the bull archers, they are so strong. They are taking out the skirmishers. They are holding on over here. And DauT will get pushed away in the end. Even though he should have been able to take those villagers down, he should have been able to deny this castle further. He's going to content himself with the villager kills that he got earlier, right? That's 10 villager kills. That is not a small amount of damage that DauT was able to do, and he'll be in the Imperial Age very soon himself. He's got the first trebuchet moving forward. When the castle comes up over here, he'll be able to produce from 2 castles at a time, assuming that he gets the resources. He's 10 wood short. Now he should be able to queue another trebuchet up from here. He's not going to do it though. And DauT. That's still about 5 seconds away from the Imperial Age himself. Beautiful. Yes, sir. Trish is already coming out from DauT. He's got 2. Nili. He's got 2. He's got a bombard cannon on the way. Here we are. Got sustain up for the time being for DauT, but it's costing a pretty penny to keep up. He does have Eagle Warriors though on the way. These are elite Eagle Warriors already. He's got plate, mail armor coming out, +3, +4. Should be enough for him to take care of these skirmishers without too many issues, obviously. Yeah, but the castle's still doing a lot of damage over there. DauT ends up losing his own castle. He's got to pull archers, putting pressure on the left-hand side woodland, pushing Nili's villages away from it, but not doing much more than that. Yeah, and while DauT ended up losing the castle over here and took the most damage so far, he has, however, a higher population compared to Portuguese, compared to Nili. As Nili is going for Archibus! That is a beautiful upgrade that you actually don't see the Portuguese go for, you know, like every time at all. Oh yeah. You don't see them going for that very often. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna try to disable the mod that I have right now for the bombard cannons for the next game, for game number 5, and we'll see, for the game number 6 rather, and we'll see the bombard cannons keep on disappearing. There we go. Beautiful pressure for Nili still and DauT. was trying to go forward and get some damage done. He's got some pull marchers on the right hand side, trying to prevent Nili from getting to the gold. And while Nili's getting some good damage done over here, pushing DauT out of his base, the bull player has already started moving over to the right hand side. So his economy is not going to be quite as heavily impacted by getting pushed away from here, because he was already expanding over to the right hand side. He's going to have a good amount of economy over there. Still population higher for DauT, 175 versus 160. Nili's going for 2-handed swordsmen. DauT might end up losing another castle. He's gonna need to bring the villagers over. He'll need 14 just to keep up against the trebuchets. As the hand cannoneer are getting to great numbers over here, Nili is taking full advantage of arquebus, which for those who might not know is going to give gunpowder units ballistics. So there we are, even in motion. The Eagle Warriors will get cleaned up by the hand cannoneer for the most part. The trebuchet stays up over there at the very last moment. The hand cannoneer take the Eagle Warriors down. Fantastic. Skirmishers for DauT and Eagle Warriors will allow him to fend off Nili's units for the most part. There's Trebuchet coming up on the left hand side from DauT. It's gonna start putting some pressure over here. If he gets, yeah, I was about to say, if he gets some barracks up around the castle over here, he should be in a position to put some pressure against Nili, right? The red player is relying on these goals quite heavily, so if DauT's able to push Nili away from here, that should put him in a very good position. Of course, it's easier said than done, especially when DauT's under so much pressure still. Like Nili's got 4 trebuchets forward, gonna try to take the castle down over here. Most likely he'll manage to. Most likely the castle will crumble. But if DauT manages to push the villagers away from gold over here, Nili won't really have too much left, right? Where is he collecting gold from? Besides the left hand side. I don't think he's collecting gold from anywhere else. He does have some gold available over here, but that's going to be only one tile about to run out. Less than 170 gold left. Yeah, and if Nili gets pushed away from here, that could be absolutely huge for DauT. And he is pushing the villagers away from the gold. Very soon he's going to have Eagle Warriors coming up from the left-hand side. And so long as he's able to hold on against the push from Nili over here, he should be left in a much better position, right? Once again, this goal is about to run out, and it is going to have just the 2 goals on the left-hand side of his base. What is the extra relic worth right now? Well, nothing. Just got ejected. But up until this point, I would assume that it probably allowed DauT to collect maybe 200 extra gold. Compared to Nili, that is while already accounting for the extra gold that he needed to collect just to compensate for all the monks that he lost trying to get the extra relic. So I think it was an overall profit of about 200, 300 gold maybe. But yeah, he definitely needs to get a monastery up, and he's got one. And he needs to start going and collecting the relics again. Champions coming in right now for Nili on the left hand side, putting pressure. We're gonna see DauT go for Plumed Archers, which is great. Should be able to take the champions down and even hand cannoneer down. And this is usually where it gets very, very tricky for the players. There are so many different unit types over here and so many counters at play from both these players. DauT's going to have Eagle Warriors against Skirmishers, and for raiding is going to have Skirmishers against hand cannoneer, and he's going to have Plumed Archers coming out against champions. Now the champions and the hand cannoneer will go down to Plumed Archers, so this could be simplified for DauT. He could go just for Eagles and Plumed Archers. Nili, on the other hand, he's got the champions against Eagles. He's got the hand cannoneer against Eagles as well. But they will die to Skirmishers. The champions will take Skirmishers and Eagles down. So it's a little bit of a messy flowchart in a sense where the players need to take into account what their opponent is going, and they're going to have different options that are going to counter different things. Patricia's from DauT though. On the right hand side, taking the castle down. He will from Nili, sorry, 5 cherishes for Nili, taking the castle down from DauT. And then at the center, DauT is successfully pushing Nili away, and it's been a big struggle for the red player to push DauT back. Even with the KD is favoring Nili, I would say probably the engagements have been a little bit more cost effective for DauT. He's got a 200 population already, Nili. 160, still struggling. Still need to see extra pump launchers come out from DauT on the left hand side, but it's going to be pretty difficult for him as he doesn't really have too much population space to work with anymore. You know what? He's actually going for full skirmishers. Wait a moment! Wait a moment! DauT's got Welche Javelineers. Oh, this is good! This is good for DauT! This is absolutely fantastic! With Welche Javelineers, the skirmishers, they shoot 2 javelins per shot. Yeah, you can see the javelins going in pairs, and this makes the skirmishers actually that much deadlier. Yeah, it's really good. They already have 7 attack, and with the second projectile, that's going to be even higher guaranteed damage. What is the base damage actually for the second projectile? Does anybody know? Never get into a land war in Asia, and never fight skin war against Mayans. 1 damage. Makes sense. Yeah. Still very good though, of course. It's going to be especially good against high pierce armor targets. Like against the skirmishers over here, most of the damage is going to be bonus damage from DauT's units. But let's say he's fighting against the champions, right? That's already going to guarantee 1 extra damage. Yeah, and it's not too bad. The skirmishers over here, you could say they have 8 attack. So it's pretty good. It's like a crossbow with Bracer. It's got the Eagle Warriors. Now the Eagles do not want to engage the champion. They want to bait the champions into the skirmishers. Unit control needs to be on point for that to hold on to his lead, especially as Nili. He's getting very close to 200 population himself. Amount of skirmishers for DauT's gotta be careful because of the bombard cannons. Remember that we have arquebuses already for Nili, so even with microing the units, DauT's gotta be careful not to take big shots, but that is a very nice trade. As DauT takes 2 bombard cannons with the skirmishers, and he's sending the Eagle Warriors around. And this is actually really good. The bombard cannons going down, and now the skirmishers will be facing the champions, so they will clean up raid units, and then the rest of the Eagles are going forward and trying to get raids going. Now, there's not the way to go about it. Once again, unit control needs to be on point for that, and he's not really being in the best shape for it this game. He ends up facing the champion several times. With the Eagle Warriors. And now Nili's got an onager. Good shot. Left hand side. Yeah, DauT is starting to leak into Nili's economy, and this is great for DauT. He's not paying attention, guys. This could result in a lot of losses, actually. That right now. Let me select the Eagle. Can I do it? Yeah, well, anyway, that is a lot of damage coming in. For Mr. DauT getting a bunch of villagers down, and well, he is getting pushed away from his base once again. Champions are getting some good damage down from Nili. DauT did already have a good portion of his economy already out of the walls. The interesting thing though is Nili is ahead because of the military count over here. But he is falling behind in work account quite a lot because of the raids from DauT. Pizzeria will help for sure. He's got just the one for the time being. Here we go. It's a good amount of onagers. It's going to work pretty well against pulled archers. Going to work pretty well against skirmishers, so long as he's paying attention. Yeah, good shots. And then now the set of raids coming in from DauT. There we go, finally. And he's gotten well over 11 villagers with the Eagle Warriors over here. And once again, Nili struggles to keep up with the economy because of it. But DauT is also struggling right now. The village count is actually going down as low as Nili's. The military count is higher for DauT, and overall population is higher for DauT. The reason why the population count over here is higher for Nili is because he's got the Fate Sharia, but the actual units will favor the blue player. And Nili seems to be struggling to keep the production going quite as heavily. And DauT, not so much. He's got a good amount of bull archers queued up. Villagers, a bunch of villagers coming out as well. And what a great game! What a great game! DauT is to go for extra trebuchets on the left hand side. He's got the king over there, mind you. And if he went for trebuchets and took the castle down over here, Nili's king could potentially be exposed. Interesting that DauT sent the king over the left hand side though. That seems like a little bit higher risk than he needed it to be. Raids coming in from Nili once again. Keeping DauT's villager count about the same as Nili's, despite the fact that DauT's got so many villagers coming out from extra TCs compared to Nili. It would make you believe Nili's raids over here have been a little bit more effective compared to DauT's. And if you take a look at the Eco KD, that's certainly going to back that up. But the game's not over, and DauT's military count is substantially higher compared to Nili. So if he's able to push Nili away from here, he might be able to start putting pressure against the red player very soon. He's freeing himself of the siege workshops over here, of the center presence from Nili as well. And DauT's looking good, guys. Nili, he's got 30 champions still, which is good. But it's gonna be facing plume archers, it's gonna be facing Holcha Javelineers. Yeah, and it's going to be pretty difficult to make work, of course. Yeah, take a look at DauT's unit control now. He is paying attention. And the archer goes down from Nili. Extremely expensive losses over here so far for the red player. Oh my lord, Thumbring is only now coming in for Nili. It's so late. But yeah, DauT seems to have stabilized, right? At this point in time, Nili doesn't really have access to gold anymore. If we take a look at the gold minus, he's got just the one forward. And then this gold is going to be favoring DauT. This gold, of course, should be favoring DauT as well very soon. Once he pushes the villager away, it's going to be in total about 2,000 gold left over there for DauT to collect from. Meanwhile, Nili doesn't really have access to gold anymore. The one on the left-hand side that is closer to his base is not super safe because DauT's there. And even if it were safe, it's going to be only 168 resources. Yeah, there we go. And that pushed the villager away from Nili, away from the gold. You can see the villager over there, dead already. Now, you cannot see the body anymore. The Archer's there. The unit control from DauT is good. There's a good shot anyway, though, but the Archers are going down. But are they all going to go down, though? We still have two over here with some good unit control. Nili might be able to get some big shots, and he does land a nice shot over there. Gets enough units to push DauT away with. And the trebuchets, they will survive for DauT for a little bit longer once again. But now that's a lot of units for Nili to work with, to push DauT away with. Here we go. From this point onwards, the one extra relic from DauT is not really going to amount to much of anything. As Nili Civilization with access to Feiteria will allow him to get access to gold pretty much infinitely. Do you know if anyone cast Bad Boy vs. Hard? I think I answered your PM about that already before VVFan. I do not know if anybody cast that one. If you want to know for sure if anybody cast that, you need to go to the spectator dashboard and you need to take a look at the cast section. Let me actually try to find it. Yeah, you take a look at cast within the spectator dashboard. And then you filter by T90 Titans League, Gold League. And it seems like nobody has cast Hard versus Bad Boy. Oh no, yes. Somebody has, actually. But in Spanish. Juan Perotti. No problem. But yeah, you will be finding all the casts in the spectator dashboard in the cast section. And there's only one cast for that series. That is only Juan Perotti, so it's going to be in Spanish. Sorry about that. Bloodlines, scale bar than armor coming in for Nili right now. The great thing about him, yes, on YouTube, VVFan. Juan Perotti, if you just go and take a look at the spectator dashboard, there's going to be a link to the cast over there. Do you think Nili will do in this league? I'm not really sure. Is Nili playing in the Gold League? Where is he playing? I don't really know. I have only been keeping track of the Platinum League and I'm still not too sure who all the players over there are. Nice unit control for DauT. Yeah, and the lead is starting to get a little bit too out of hand already. Right, DauT? It's looking very good. We have some like cover coming over from Nili. He did make the transition. And yeah, the thing that I was saying is the one great thing about the Portuguese, because of the Feitoria access, is that you can still play for gold units in the later stages of the game. You can still make transitions into other unit lines. Well, DauT on the other hand is not going to be quite as able to do so, right? And you could say that the clock's ticking right now for DauT. If he's unable to seal the deal soon, it's gonna run out of gold, as this one doesn't really have too much left. He's got only 900 gold left, and in the map, this is going to be the last gold available. And if he doesn't make play right now and take the game, well, Nili's Feitoria over here might prove too strong without the play against the economy coming in from the Feitoria, of course. There's some good snipes over there, though. 200 just going down. Very expensive losses for Nili. And population for DauT is significantly higher. And what a game! It's been a long one. We're getting over an hour already. for this game, and Nili's going to call it GG. And guys, DauT takes the lead in the series over here with a current score, with a partial score of 3-2. He knocks Nili down. Let's go through the achievements. And what do we get? We'll get a better KD for Nili, better than 4-2. Actually, it's not going to be quite as good as 4-3, but it's going to be better than 1-1. Why Nili resign? Well, his population was much lower, and DauT had some great momentum. It was a 130 population. He got several times already close to 200 population, so he knows exactly how far behind he is. And this is actually not even that accurate, right? Because it's, in all honesty, 100 population for Nili. The Fateria is going to boost this by 20. Otherwise, DauT is on a real population count of 186 himself. Basically, DauT's push right now had more military units than Nili had villagers total, I think, or so. But yeah, in the end, the economy is stronger for DauT as well. The 15% longer lasting resources certainly amount to a lot. Plus the extra villagers throughout the game for DauT do amount to a lot of extra resources. And while the KD was better for Nili, the stronger economy for DauT was enough for him to offset for that. So well done. And yeah, we'll jump into game number 6 in a moment. And here we go, guys. Welcome everyone to game number 6 in the series. DauT 3, Nili 2. This is a best of 11 set. It's part of a show match. And taking a look at the players and the civilizations, we're going to see the DauTs playing up in the northwest with the Tatars. Meanwhile, Nili is playing towards the southwest with the Franks himself. That civilization with the Tatars is going to provide them with free thumb ring, free Parthian tactics. Besides that, we also see for DauT's civilization with the Tatars. There we go. It's going to have 25% higher damage when attacking enemy units from a higher elevation. And we'll have for DauT civilization in addition to that. There we go. We're going to see for Mr. DauT also 50% extra food income from herdables, in addition to 2 additional sheep underneath each newly built TC starting in the castle. Each team bonus will provide DauT civilization 2 extra line of sight on cavalry archer units, while Nili playing with Franks instead, he's gonna have 20% extra HP on cavalry units starting the field age. 15% faster working foragers, in addition to a 25% discount on castles, and he also gets farm upgrades for free. For the team bonus, we're going to see for Nili 2 extra line of sight on Nili units as well. Will you play a Nations Cup? No, I don't think I'm going to play any tournaments this year. I'm just trying to get back in shape, so I need to do that first. Did Nili resign too soon in the previous game? I don't think so. I think the population lead for DauT was significant, and Nili was aware of it simply by the huge amount of military units coming his way from DauT when his own population was not the best. And he must have realized he wasn't going to be able to push back on time, or not necessarily push back on time, but I think he realized that he wasn't going to be able to hold on against DauT long enough for the Fateria economy to kick in. That's the way that I see it anyway. On this map, do you prefer Tatars or Franks? So this is Kilimanjaro. On paper, I'm going to prefer Tatars because of the extra damage if they are able to get a hold of the hill. Franks, however, could try and prevent that from happening if we are to see a full feudal game, for instance. The Franks are going to get extra HP on the scouts for free. They're going to have free Horse Scholar, faster working foragers as well, and could be enough for him to get enough damage down on the field age to prevent the game from extending too much. We'll see, of course, this is Nili with the Franks trying to prevent DauT from taking the hill over here, and that's not going to be particularly easy. Let's go and take a look at the map generation then for both these players, starting with the Bull player. We're gonna have first off for the Blue player, for Mr. DauT over here, the main gold on the back though, over here, just beautiful. He's already going for the wall, so he's gonna be able to secure this one, right? Going for the walls like this, Oh, he's gonna connect the walls, actually. Okay. And he should be able to secure this. Berries. Forward, but also they're going to be secure as the walls are coming up. And then the rest of the resources will be outside, though. The stone is forward, the other stone is forward, the other gold is forward, so this is not the best for DauT. But it's gonna try to basically secure the castle edge over here by getting the walls up and preventing Nili from getting any damage down to the fuel edge, right? So he's trying to prevent the scenario I was describing just a moment ago. The red player, on the other hand, he does have the main goal on the back, which is good. Secondary goal is on the right-hand side, very far away on the hill, on the slope. And then the stones, we have one on the left-hand side, the main one. The secondary one is going to be on the right-hand side. It's going to be a little bit harder for Nili to protect some of this. Mainly, the woodlands are going to be a little bit of an issue. If you take a look, and if he connects the woodline to the TC over here, and then on the left-hand side, maybe he goes for something like this, that would allow him to secure this stone, this gold in the woodline, right? But he needs to go for the walls around the woodline. Kind of similar to what DauT is doing right now by going for the walls around the woodline over here as well. The wood player will be able to secure this one as well. What's that blue drawing? Oh, V fan. I would think by this time, since you've been around my stream for a long time, you'll already be familiar with it. But that's just my annotations feature that I have for my channel. But it's not part of the capture itch. Does capture itch not show the map name? It does, but not when you have the timeline exposed. And I have the timeline exposed, so that I can go back and forth in the game. I prefer this over exposing it and hiding it constantly. And that's why whenever the game begins, I do mention the map name on my own. But if there's a map you don't recognize and you don't know the name of, and you were not around the beginning of the game to hear me say the name of it, you can just ask and I'm going to say it again. Yeah, this one's Kilimanjaro. I do pay for Capture H Pro, yes. That's for the rewinding feature. There we go, PLH is here ready for DauT. Hey Rosa! Hi. Nili. Nili's got the tower already up, putting pressure against DauT. Forcing a defensive tower as well, the bull player, well, won't be able to clean a fast castle. And this is really well played for Nili. The moment he came forward and realized about the walls, he sent the villagers over and tried to start putting enough pressure to prevent DauT from getting to the castle age cleanly anyway. Most likely DauT will still manage to go up, but it's going to take a little bit longer than it probably should have. And it's certainly going to be quite messy for him in the fuel age still, as Nili's going to keep on trying to put pressure here. Good in control for DauT. He's getting the walls up just in time, And now Nili will need to try and breach through a different area. So I don't know if I'm liking Nili's position too much over here. He is disrupting DauT's economy, there is no question about it. But DauT has taken the tower down already and brings the villagers back to work. And Nili's going for a second tower. He's spending a lot of time trying to make the push work over here. He sent villagers over to the stone. He's got 3 villagers forward, not only not collecting resources, but also spending resources. While DauT's fed up. He's had enough. He's bringing the villagers, he's bringing all his guns over, and he'll try to take the villagers down from Nili. He's targeting the villagers with his own villagers. He's got the spearman over here as well to work with against the scouts. It's going to be very good and very effective for the bull player. And even though the tower comes up from Nili and he'll be able to garrison the villagers over there for the most part, tower's going down almost immediately, and now DauT goes back to work. Might be able to get a villager or 2 down over here if he plays his cards right. It's gotta be careful, of course. There's a spearman, 2 spearmen from Nili. Yeah, and check this out. That's a villager going down from Nili. Yes, sir. And that could very well be another villager going down, so long as Nili is using the spearman to chase the scout away from DauT as opposed to defending against the spearman from DauT. That's going to get a second kill over here. And so far, it's been a very strong performance for the bull player. Hello there, Chris. Welcome. Still some spearmen though, from Mr. Nili. Hey, Shantini, thank you so much for the resub. Coming in hot with the tier 1 sub. Hype 17 months. Very, very close to a year and a half already. Thank you so much for the extended support, Shantini. It's very much appreciated. I want to see the highs in the chat as well. We have a free emote you do not need to subscribe for. You can use to say hi to other people. Yeah, and DauT ended up spending a lot of the resources he had to go up to the castle age to get defensive units up. And you know what? His economy is kind of a mess now because of it. He's getting a market up and he should be able to buy his way up. But Nili's been able to scrap enough resources together himself to go up to the castle age without even making use of the market, right? Yeah, it doesn't even have a market right now. Hey, there we go. Beautiful. Love to see it. Toilet's still the best emote? Yeah, I'm probably gonna get a chance of making use of it quite a lot today because I'm having a lot of water. Either tea or brine or just plain water. I've already had to go to the bathroom like, what, 3 times? 2 times? Brine? Yes. I think that's the name for salty water, right? And the castle is on the way. Now for both these players. DauT is going up a little bit later. He needed to get the market up, Nili. On the other hand, is on about a 16-second lead. It's not particularly important over here. He did already get 9 extra seconds of idle TC time, so compared to DauT, it's probably just going to be about 7 seconds or so worth of an advantage really for Nili. But yeah, Frank's gonna die to Tartarus, right? Well, and on a map like this, if DauT is to get the hill, it's going to be pretty difficult for Nili to fight against Tartarus over here. Regardless of the civilization, right? But the matchup over here, yeah, it should be pretty good for DauT overall. DauT makes a play. Oh, he's going for step lancers. I was going to say if he makes a play for cavalry archers, that's gonna be very effective. Nili wouldn't be able to fight that off with knights, wouldn't be able to fight that off with pikemen, throwing axemen. Basically, none of the choices from Franks would work against that. Not even skirmishes, honestly, because of only going up to Buck and Arrow and Leather Archer armor, Nili does not get the last defense upgrade. So cavalry archers with all the upgrades for Tartarus, silk armor, should obliterate even skirmishers. Yeah, exactly. Cavalry archers should be really good. That is interesting to see that he makes a choice for step lancers though. And it's fantastic also to see how the step lancer unit in general, the unit line, has kind of risen, right, in the last couple months, I could say. Yeah, ever since they started being used a lot more often during Red Bull Wallet Legacy. It's kind of seen a resurgence of sorts. Can be very effective when played properly. Yeah, especially with the heals, can be really good. Probably since Red Bull a lot. The first time that I saw Step Lancers be used extensively to a positive outcome was Dragonstar playing the World Rumble final last year. That was really good, and he was playing... I don't remember if he was playing Tatters or if he was playing Kumans, but that was really good. That was the first time that I saw it, and then a couple months afterwards, I saw him also make use of them, I think during the qualifiers. And I don't know if any of those things are related, but then I started seeing a lot of people start making use of them during the actual event a lot more. Man, it's coming over from Nili though, completely exposed! Will get obliterated by the camels, by the Step Lancers from DauT. That is not even close. And while Nili did manage to get some villagers down, and DauT has taken 7 villager losses so far this game, DauT is able to stabilize back home. He is able to clean out the units for the most part, and now he's going to have a stronger amount of military to work with compared to Nili, so he could go forward and try to take advantage of this momentum a little bit more. In the beginning, I remember they were almost OP, then got nerfed a lot. Yeah, remember? True. They were so strong. Pretty much better than I thought. Yeah, it's favoring DauT. He did end up taking the most villager losses though. And while Nili does have a higher amount of idle TC time, he does have 2 TCs to work with, so it's a little bit misleading, right? It's not going to be any worse compared to DauT's idle TC count. Good unit control from Nili, recognizing the weak foundation, coming and taking villagers down right away. It's gonna be 2 villagers, 3 villagers, as a matter of fact, going down already from DauT. Here we go. Yeah, and DauT's gonna be able to stabilize once again. He does hold about 4 times the military, over 3 times the military count right now compared to Nili. Not so much anymore. But yeah, this is what I wanted to see, the counter push. And here he comes. He's taking some villagers down early from the south of Nili's base. If he's able to get a few extra villagers over here, he's going to catch up already in worker count, as Nili is losing a lot of extra villagers and does not have enough units to defend himself with. Just a 1 stray spearman going down to the Step Lancer from DauT. It doesn't seem to me like the blue player is going to struggle too much against this if he plays his cards right, of course. That's good unit control. And notice how he kind of kites with the Step Lancers, right? And that's the way to go about it. He's trying to reform the units, or reset the formation of the units so they are on double lines before striking back, and that way he's able to take the pikemen down pretty quickly. For Siege Rickshaw for that, it's got 2 mangonels. Meanwhile, Nili still keeps on putting pressure over here. It really seems to me like DauT needs to get the walls closed over here so he prevents Nili from just casually walking in with military units, because even if DauT is able to clean out the knights, every time the Nili comes in, he is able to get at the very least 2 villager kills, 3 villager kills. And that's not good for a player who's sticking to 1 TC only. That's basically kind of offsetting for the last minute of TC working time. There was once a time where DauT made cavalry archers with almost every civilization possible. Still kind of weird he's not going for them here. Yeah, I know, right? That's what I was expecting to see. DauT go for over here, just full CA, but instead it's been camels. It's been Step Lancers, but to be fair, it's worked pretty well though. It's been very effective. The Manons are 4 right now, and they are taking on the pikemen. But is that going to be enough? One of the Magnets goes down, and still we have Pikeman here left for Nili to defend himself with. Yeah, and another Magnet goes down. That is a good Mango shot. But still, there's a lot to catch up for over here. And he's still on 15 extra workers compared to... What is this? Come on. Compared to DauT. There we go. Once again, though, the push for Nili is extremely effective over here. He does not getting more villagers down. He's gotten 5 kills, 3 of which were villagers with this one night already, and that's what I'm talking about. That has stayed open way too long over here and has allowed Nili to get too much damage done. And even if he's able to clean out the units from Nili in the end, it doesn't matter if Nili has already gotten away with the damage earlier. I would say that unit control and map awareness has been a little bit off for DauT this one game, and Nili has done a really good job taking advantage of it. Yeah, for the most part, Nili's been getting Vil after Vil after Vil from DauT. There we go. Beautiful. Expensive castle for Nili. That's starting to crumble right now, though. Compared to Nili's population is so much slower. Right now we have over 33% stronger population for the German player. Third TC on the way now for Nili. That's going for the second TC only now. So long as Nili does not throw this game massively, he should be the one coming out on top. Remember, this best of 11 is going to be the first to 6. So whoever takes this game is either going to extend their lead or equalize the series. And if we saw, for instance, Nili take this one, we would know that we would have at the very least 9 games guaranteed. If DauT was to take this one, he would need only 2 extra wins, potentially, to take the series. Nice mana shot for Nili as well, and DauT starting to run out of defenses. Nili's done a great job sending a bunch of pikemen forth. And notice that he prevents also DauT from making effective use of the step lancers over here. So while in the end the units do go down from Nili over here, I would say that the trade was more cost effective for him. For every step lancer he's gotten down, he's lost like what, 2 pikemen? 1, 2 pikemen? It's not too bad. 4th TC is now on the way for Nili as well, and that's going for the 3rd TC. It should be on his way to the Imperial Age very soon as well if he goes up. Starts making a play for Knights now, I like to see that. If he goes up and gets to Cavalier, that's going to be very rough for DauT to defend himself against. Nice conversion. And that's effectively pushing Nili away from the right-hand side of his base. This is something that really shouldn't have stayed up for so long from Nili. So DauT pushing that away is pretty good. Nice counter raid coming in from DauT. There's so much catching up to do though. 27 villagers behind Nili. That's gonna get a lot of kills over here. And Nili's got a lot of pikemen. DauT should still be able to get some villager picks over here so long as he's able to take advantage of the mobility, but that's going to require him to pay attention to his units at all times. When there's a counter raid coming out from Nili on the other hand, that's gonna be difficult for DauT to do. He's gonna have to pay attention to one place or the other. Seems like he won't be able to keep up with both. As we see the knights taking villagers down over here from Nili. Against DauT. DauT's gonna try to get the villager picks going himself down the south, but it seems like Nili will be able to defend himself mostly with a castle for the most part. Second castle on the way now for Nili as well. Don. Beautiful, more villages going down from that. He's been fighting uphill, and that is not the position you want to find yourself in, playing with the Tatars on a map like this. DauT is finally gonna start making a play for cavalry archers, but this feels so little so late. Isn't it too little too late? Well, we have knights on the way for Nili, but he won't be able to go up to the Imperial Age anytime soon. If Nili took advantage of his stronger economy to go up to the Imperial Age to get to Cavalier as well, he should be in a pretty good position, but while he does have the military and worker lead over here against DauT, the cavalry archer are a very deadly unit that if Nili gives DauT enough time to mass up, that could potentially mess Nili up greatly, so he's gotta be careful. Forecast coming in from DauT is going to result in a lot of villager losses. There's a counter castle coming in for Nili. This will be very much so a DauT castle as all the villagers go down! And the castle will get walled right now and by Nili. These kinds of losses DauT cannot really afford to take when his economy is already so much smaller compared to Nili's. My lord. Good old castle drop by DauT, yeah. And he's just going to remain smiling over here because sure. What else are you going to do? You gotta smile not to cry. And it seems like Nili is securing game number 6 by this, right? Well, it's looking good. And the walls are coming up, so now Nili is effectively denying the castle fully. Here come the cavalry archers from DauT. He doesn't really have too many units right now, though. Only on about 16 cavalry archers. That'll be enough for him to two-shot knights, but that's only if he gets all the cavalry archers in the same place, and he seems to have some on the back. He seems to have some force. That's not good enough anymore. Yeah, and actually he doesn't end up getting cleaned up at the center as well, so He's gonna keep on trying a little bit longer, but the longer the game goes, the more of a lead the Nili's going to get, assuming that he does not throw the game once again, because from this position, it seems like there is only winning on the horizon for Nili, for game number 6 that is. And it's been pretty even, right? Game number 1 goes in favor of DauT, games number 2 and 3 go in favor of Nili, games number 4 and 5 go in favor of DauT. And now seems like game number 6 is gonna go in favor of Nili to go full circle and leave us the good old 3-3 set. And guaranteeing a 9-game series at least. Fantastic. And it seems like Nili should be able to take this one, right? I think he should. There we go. That's gonna keep on bleeding the economy out. This is not good to speak of, and he doesn't want to call the GG over here still, but he is very much in a losing position. He's got the counter raid coming out, does manage to get some villages down. I guess he's going to try a little bit longer so long as he's got a counter raid coming, but it seems to me like Nili has managed to get so much more damage done against DauT every time that we have seen both players try to counter raid each other. And the KD is going to back that up as well. 84-37 favoring Nili. He's been able to, for the most part, get over twice as many villager picks throughout the game compared to DauT's rates. Forecast now on the way for Nili too. And DauT, that's trying to go for a defensive castle. This is not gonna do too much to defend his position against Nili's push on the right hand side. And that crumbles, guys. 100 population versus 150. Nili is so much closer to getting completely pop capped, while DauT seems to be falling apart at the seams. Nothing seems to be going his way. He is getting some villager picks over here and preventing Nili from getting the castle up on the right hand side, but then at the same time, Nili's got a lot of units putting pressure against DauT, not only at the center but also on the left hand side, with the knights coming over, taking the villagers down on the left hand side, and at the center also a bunch of villagers going down, even the cavalry archers crumbling from DauT as well. Nili should be able to put himself in an even stronger lead right now, as we see he's staying close to 150 population, and DauT is scrambling close to 90 pop himself. Just barely bounced it back up right now. Absolutely beautiful. Up in the north. There we are. That manages to stabilize still. 50% stronger population for Nili or so. And DauT is finally getting to the cavalry archer numbers he needs. He's got a lot on the right hand side. Over here, about 16, enough for him to two-shot knights. He's got ballistics, we know this. Does he have thumb ring? He gets thumb ring for free because of the Tatars bonus. It's not even necessary for us to check probably, but yeah, these cavalry archers are getting to good numbers. These will become extremely deadly. If DauT wants to split the army up as well, if he gets two groups of at the very least 15 each, that's already going to be strong enough for him to two-shot knights with each group independently. Maybe the 1000th one to ask, is this live? You're actually not the 1000th one to ask, you are the first one to ask. This is not live, no, these games took place yesterday, but I was casting T90 Titans League Platinum at that time. Well, this was taking place at the same time, so decided to cast this one today using Record the Games. And it's been good so far, 3-2. As you can see, the score is pretty close. And Nili is looking stronger in game number 6 to potentially equalize the series. Guarantee a 9 games set. Beautiful raids from Nili still. The little things though, the tower coming up over here is fantastic. Missed both yesterday? No problem. That's why we have bots and that's why we have Rex, right? So you can watch the series from Teen Titans League from the bot, and you can watch the rec for this one. That is not good unit control though. DauT! DauT is not! Oh my lord, he realizes the bomb is way too late. He goes on to call the GG as Nili. And he gets the castle up, he holds on to his 50% population lead or so and equalizes the series. Nili 3, DauT 3. Let's go through the achievements as usual before jumping into game number 7. We'll find first off that for military, Nili ends up getting a better KD. At the end of the game, it's going to be about 9-8. For economy, he's got a stronger economy, collecting well over 18,000 extra resources compared to DauT. Well, not quite as high as 18,000 extra resources, but very, very close to it, 17,900. For villagers, we have a villager max count that is significantly higher for Nili. He ended up losing a bunch of villagers throughout the game, but it's going to be 41 losses compared to DauT's 128 losses instead. It's nowhere near as many losses for Nili. Throughout the game, he was on a higher worker count over here, and that's exactly what allowed him to get a stronger economy as well. Well done. We'll jump into game number 7 in just a moment. And here we go, guys! Game number 7 is here. Out of a potential total of 11 games, we'll see DauT playing in the south with the Poles. We'll see Nili playing in the north with the Bohemians. And what do we get? Well, with the civilization, DauT's gonna get access to full work. He gets 5, 10, 15, 20 HP regeneration on villagers per minute, depending on the age. In addition to, for the Poles, we're gonna have also for DauT civilization, villagers who collect from the stone 0.33 units of gold per unit of stone that they mine. Team bonus finally is going to give DauT civilization blast radius from Scoutland units. Actually, what am I talking about? That is not that is the unique technology in the Imperial Age. The team bonus is going to give them 1 bonus damage against archer type units from Scoutland units. Nili, on the other hand, playing with Bohemians instead, will get free mining camp upgrades, as well as 100% or 100 wood less, 100 lower wood cost for universities and blacksmiths. Sorry. Besides that, Bohemians will get 25% higher bonus damage from spear line units against enemy units. Fervor and Sanctity affect villagers, and finally, the Bohemians will also have access to chemistry and hand cannoneer in the Castle Age. For the team bonus, the civilization is going to get 80% faster work in market. Not something that is going to change the game too much in a 1v1. Definitely something that you would want to make use of in a team game for like trade card creation. But over here, for the most part, it's all going to be about the possibility of Huvnitsa and the 25% higher bonus damage from Spearline units against enemy units, which will make the Halberdier plus Huvnitsa army extremely, extremely strong for Nili. So it can be really good. Taking a look at the map generation for both these players, we'll see that DauT, first off, has got a main goal on the back, so that's beautiful. It's got a secondary goal on the left-hand side. The other secondary goal is going to be on the right-hand side, beyond the walls. And then the main stone is going to be on the right-hand side of the TC, and the secondary goal is going to be, secondary stone is going to be outside the walls. Now, Because of the way that scouting works on this map, the location of resources for that is nothing short of amazing. It's fantastic. Nili, on the other hand, the red player is going to have the main goal in the back, which is beautiful. Let's get the main stone in the back as well, and then the secondary stones and the secondary golds are going to be forward. Of course, the secondary stone is going to be outside the walls, and the secondary gold, one of those is going to be outside the walls, the other one's going to be forward. This is not great for Nili, and it goes once again to show that if DauT sent the scout forward himself around this area, right, and he scouted along the walls, he would get vision of this gold as early as the fuel age, so long as he scouts alongside the walls. And that means that if DauT were to go for a 4 castle and he's playing pulse, we know that we will see a castle come up at some point. DauT could potentially place it in a position where it's going to allow him to push 2 resources, or it's going to allow him to deny 2 resources at a time with the gold and the stone. So that'd be about it. If he got vision of this, that would allow him to deny both these resources, and of course this will be kind of beyond reach for Nili anyway because of being outside the walls. And this is something that Nili wouldn't be able to do around DauT's base if he wanted to, because DauT's resources are simply not kind of exposed enough for Nili to spot those. Fantastic. Feel it should be on the way now for the players very soon. We're gonna see both go up probably on the same build, right? Yeah, that's already queuing the FLH after the 24th villager. And Nili is going up on the 24th villager himself as well, so it's going to be the exact same build from both these guys, 25 plus 2. Scout skirmish going in favor of DauT by the looks of it. Nili actually gets better end of the deal here. And DauT's going back. So the question becomes, who is going to be the one going for stables? And I would imagine that's going to be both. Going for a market, going for the stable and the fuel H to have the buildings they need to go up to the castle H. And the stable will give you the ability to go for extra scouts, potentially go for light cavalry as well. In later stages, we'll see. Beautiful. And the fuel H is going to be here for both these players very soon. Relic position's quite a bit better for DauT in my opinion. That is true, we didn't take a look at that. We can do that. So, as you are correctly pointing out, this relic is going to be closer to DauT's base. This relic's definitely going to be favoring DauT. This one is closer to DauT's base as well. And then this one over here is going to be kind of contested. It's going to be at the center. It is a little bit closer to Nili's base, especially when you just draw a line to the gate, right? Over here. It's kind of close. I think it's closer to Nili. I think it's closer to Nili. Meanwhile, he does have another relic over here to potentially collect from, of course, but this one is going to be closer to Nili's as well. Still was already up for Nili. He's going up to the castle H. DauT. Oh, that went for a standard. Blacksmith and market. build instead. Interesting. I love these light duels. Nice to hear. It's going to be faster castle each time for DauT, however. Nili's got the second scout out only. He already got a hit by the spearman, so it's not the best. And take a look at DauT's unit control. That's good. And Nili's reaction, though, is on point. Beautiful. Castle Age is here now. There we go. Monastery on the way for DauT at the center. He's going for the castle drop. Taking a look at his scouting information. He doesn't know about the gold. That is why I said it was so important for DauT to actually try and get scouting information. If he knew about the gold, he would have been able to place the castle over here in such a way that he would have been able to deny the second goal as well. But check this out. Nili does not care. He's deleting the walls. And I guess that's going to leave this exposed anyway. He's bringing some villagers over. He does not have the resource to go for a counter castle, so he's just going to try and fight DauT out of here. And this is really interesting and not something that I had seen players go for at all in the past. He's just going to play this one as if it was Arabian in a sense, but the castle is coming up no matter what. Right? Right? DauT? 90%, still a bunch of villagers left over here, but Nili's committed to this! Nili's committed to this, and the cost goes up! The cost goes up, and DauT is going to take game number 7 to get a 4-3 lead against Nili. And what a great last play of the game over here. What an entertaining match for sure, and that's probably as short as you're going to get for Arena, honestly. So well done, DauT 4. Nili 3, let's go and take a look at the achievements before jumping into game number 4. What do we get from military? We're going to have a better KD for DauT by a lot, better than 5-2. Stronger economy for DauT as well, although by a very small margin, only 100 extra resources. And we're going to see also for society, a higher villager max count for DauT. But not only that, he ended up losing 5 villagers throughout the game. While Nili, on the other hand, ended up losing about 7 villagers throughout the game over here. So at the end, that was really rough for Nili. DauT, plus, he did get 1 conversion, if I'm not mistaken. Let me take a look at military. Yeah, he got one conversion, but then Nili also got a conversion himself as well. So if you add this to the KD, it's going to be kind of similar. Let's go back and take a look at what we get for game 8. And we are back in the game. DauT is going to be playing with Britons towards the northwest. Nili playing with Gujaras to the east of the map. It's going to have a civilization that I was talking about in the past a few times, right? And yeah, this is going to be Ghost Lake for game number 8. Britons for DauT, Gujaras for Nili. Both these civilizations I talked about in the past during T90 Titans League when we were providing coverage for this. Because DauT civilization is going to get a fantastic bonus for a map like this. What? Well, let's go through all the bonuses for the civilization first. They're going to get 1 and 2 extra range on foot archer units in the castle and Imperial Ages, except for skirmishers, respectively, right? They also get a 50% wood discount on TC starting in the castle age. For the team bonus, they're going to have 20% faster working archer ranges, but the last bonus for this civilization, and the most important one that I would say for this map, is 25% faster working shepherds. Now, you might say, why? If you have played Ghost Lake in the past, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There are a lot of herdables on a map like this. Ghost Lake, you can see at the center there are already 7 sheep over here, although Nili is going to collect the most of these. And of course, Britons are going to benefit from that because of their shepherds working faster. However, Nili will also benefit from this. And he's got already 8 herdables. He's managed to garrison over here. So what are the bonuses for Gujaras? They start with 2 berry bushes underneath the TC. And they're going to have also the ability to garrison herdables inside mills where they will generate a slow trickle of food. So, if he's able to collect a good chunk of the sheep around the map over here, he should be able to take advantage of the Gujaras bonus by quite a lot. Besides that, the civilization will also have 20, 30, and 40% higher bonus damage from mounted units against enemy units. And for the team bonus, Nili will also have with the Gujaras faster training elephant and camel archer, actually camel type units, right? So yeah, he's got 1 mill. He needs to go for another one. He could potentially butcher the sheep as well. He's taking 1, for instance. And he's got this mill fully garrisoned, so he doesn't need to go for 2 mills and fully garrison them or try to get as many sheep as possible, right? He can just butcher these, and that's still going to be good. I mean, this already has 10 out of 10. Yeah, that could be good. Now, correct me about something, guys. I believe that the Gujaras got changed in a way that now the food income from the herdables is not going to be a linear scale anymore. It's going to be more of a logarithmic scale, by which the more sheep you get, you know, that you're going to reach a point of diminishing returns, and the more sheep you get, the less food each individual sheep is going to produce. However, is that going to be independent of the amount of meals you get, or is it going to be tied to the amount of meals? Like if you have, I believe, 6 sheep garrisoned inside the mill is still going to produce the same amount of food that 6 sheep before the update would produce for the Gujaras. Is that the case then, that you can have 2 mills with 6 sheep each and they will still produce at a faster rate than if you had like 10 on one and 2 on the other? Or is that not the case? It counts all the mills. So if you have 3 sheep on 1 mill, or if you have 1 sheep distributed around 6 mills, it's going to generate the same amount of food as if you had 6 sheep in a single meal, right? Okay, thank you, Perkita. Appreciate it. That's push is coming in with 2 militias. Scout is getting pushed away by the camel scout. This got the militias over here, getting a little bit of idle. The village dime actually from Nili. Let's see. Yeah, the unit control for DauT is good. He will be going up significantly later though, and we didn't really take a look at the map generation too much. Doesn't seem to me like DauT should be able to get too much damage done over here. But let's take a look at the map generation for Nili first. We can see already that DauT's going for the wall, so we don't have to take a look at him too much. But Nili should be able to go for this, and he should be able to secure 1 gold, but that's about it. The rest is going to be forward. Not even a woodland, just a gold. It's not bad. Should keep Nili going in any case. Let's take a look. The village is here for Nili. DauT's getting a little bit of extra idle village time out of Nili's foragers with the militias. And now the game has stabilized. The stable is coming up for Nili and he's going to be fine. So taking a look at DauT's map generation, he's already going for the walls already. So he's got this up over here, 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 and here, right? This is going to allow him to secure the stone and the gold. So that's already looking a little bit better for DauT, plus the berries over here. But he does have another stone over here as well. So it's going to be 2 stones he secures and the gold, compared to just the 1 gold from Nili. So overall, I'm liking DauT's map generation a little bit better. Is the wall but not a lot of resource secured? Nili's map? Yes, absolutely. And the militias get cleaned up in the end now. Nili sending the villagers forth. He's gonna try to get away with the same stuff he tried to do in Kilimanjaro, where he's putting pressure against DauT to try and prevent DauT from getting a clean fast castle. Now, if you take a look at the resources, DauT is going up on 25 population, so this was not a fast castle. The militias won't allow him to fast castle at all. This is just going to be a drush flush instead. So we have already the gold miners over here, and once DauT gets to the fuel H, he should be going for archer ranges. Meanwhile, Nili is bringing the villagers over to try and get the towers up, expecting DauT to try and make a play for fast castle, but it's not going to be the case. DauT's got the first archer range coming up. Both saw, actually, sorry, Dalbit Axe and Horse Scholar on the way already for the bull player. And Nili, if he gets the tower up over here, that's a beautiful location. That's a beautiful location. This tower for the red player will allow him to push the villagers away from both gold and wood. Alternatively, he could have tried to go for the tower over here as well. That would have been kind of the same, except for the wood on the right hand side, right? And DauT's going to react with a counter tower himself. That's a thick tower. It seemed more like a dungeon. But DauT's getting the tower up over here. It's going to be both these towers coming up about the same time, but it seems like DauT's looking a little bit better, right? Hey DK, hi, how are you doing? Hope you're doing alright. Hope everything's going well for you. Welcome back. Beautiful, the scout goes down in the end, and DauT is bringing the villagers over to get the walls up, or at the very least try and keep this one up. And he's gonna do so just fine, and Nili's unable to get any damage done over here. DauT has got only the one archer range though. He's not gone for the second one. To be fair, his economy is not really in a good enough shape for him to go for double archer range production anyway. Just got home from work. Time to catch some Zets. Have a great stream, everyone. Well, thank you for your kind words, DK. It's appreciated. I hope you sleep tight and have a good night's sleep. Beautiful. Two villages going down already from Nili and DauT. It's got the archers chasing the villagers away. Won't be able to take another one easily, but he's got the scouts still. Could try and body block the villagers, and if he places scouts right, and that is good. That is good. Notice how the relic was already disrupting the pattern of Nili's villagers, so we might see the villagers go down over there. Notice. Also, DauT is trying to bait the villagers with the scout. So that's a village going down. And this one is probably going to crumble as well. DauT is doing a really good job. And in the end, he doesn't listen to the scout, but he's taken 3 villages down from Nili already. Yes. Guess they're just gonna be on the way for the red player first. DauT. Not going up anytime soon, but does manage to get a nice villager lead. We'll see. This tower made DauT have 4 idle villagers while they took down Nili's tower. Is that idle time from down worth it to Nili? I don't think so, because Nili also had a lot of idle villager time by sending the villagers forward, getting the tower up, and then trying to bail. And while bailing, he ended up losing 3 out of 4 villagers, so I don't think that was worth it for Nili whatsoever. That should be in a much better position in my opinion. He does need to go up to the castle age soon though, because otherwise Nili will have the chance to catch up if he goes for extra TCs. There we go, Castle Age is on the way for DauT. Castle Age is here for Nili. He could go for a second TC. Yeah, that's a beautiful position, exactly where I was going to suggest. him to go for the second TC. He could try and go for the third TC4 probably. If he wants to secure the stone over here, a TC around this area should be pretty good. Okay, he's going for the TC on the left-hand side. It's not bad, per se. And there we go, DauT. He's just going back home and he will sit pretty behind the walls. Nili might be able to catch up in worker count, but DauT's going for a stable. He's got more archers on the way over here. You gotta wonder, is he gonna try to stick to one TC full pressure, or is he gonna try to go for extra TCs? He does not have the stone to go for any extra TC, so if he's just going to wait for the villagers to collect enough stone over here, that's gonna take a while, and it seems to indicate to me that DauT's probably gonna think of going for knights and crossbows instead, and just try to put pressure up. So he's got into the castle age, and he's got scale bar than armor for +1/+1 for the knights. He's got the crossbow upgrade on the way, 20 seconds away from it. 10 archers, soon to become crossbows, shouldn't really struggle against any of the units from Nili. For the most part, the red players still banking on fuel H units. So we see the first knight coming out from DauT, and Nili's bailing right away, but those knights are most likely not going down. Yeah, there we go. Only crossbows. He needs to send these 4 though.
Ready.
There we go. The skirmishers are about to get cleaned up. I don't know if Nili's expecting DauT to be going for this kind of pressure though. Definitely would love to see. Okay, so there is a second TC on the way for DauT. That is not bad. So long as he does not try to go for full economy, that is not bad. But I would like to see for the blue player, probably try and get a siege workshop. Maybe about here would be a good location. The thing with the siege workshop is that by getting the siege over here, right, he'll be able to immediately target the TC. The problem is that these resources will still be very much available to Nili. So if DauT went instead for the siege workshop over here, he would be able to deny these resources, but he wouldn't be able to immediately target this TC. Maybe this one on the right hand side though? Yeah, perhaps. Still single archer range for DauT. He's got enough gold miners right now to boost from 2. Just not going for it. Here comes DauT. Nili, he's getting a defensive monastery. But there's only 2 knights over here. That was not going that heavily into knights at all. He doesn't even have chain bar than armor, but you know what? That is a lot of damage coming up right now as DauT. He's got a lot of crossbows. He will be taking villagers down. There's a defensive scorpion coming in for Nili, but is not going to suffice, and that's another villager down to guard already from Nili, and DauT's pressure is absolutely fantastic. There we go. Beautiful. This is looking pretty good for DauT. Nili, despite having the 2 TCs up since earlier, has not been able to take advantage of them. For the most part, you can see the idle TC count over here for Nili's going... yeah. Off the roof. It's going through the roof over here. Meanwhile, DauT's crossbows, mine not getting cleaned up over here. We have some camels and the 1 Shrivansha rider for Nili to clean the units up. As he manages to stabilize his economy against DauT's push, we're gonna see that Nili is left on only 3 extra workers. Given the fact that he ended up losing 5 villagers over here, I would say that those extra workers have not paid off yet. And DauT's actually catching up even further. He's going to close the gap over here, 1 extra worker for Nili. And Yeah, there's a 40C on the way right now for DauT, so it's not too bad. It's not too bad for the Bull player at all. .40C on the way now for Nili as well. If DauT hadn't managed to do as much damage as it did, I would say going for the extra TCs over here would be kind of greedy and potentially a mistake, but with all the pressure he put and how much idle TC time Nili got, how many villagers that was able to get, going for the extra TCs over here will allow him to instead catch up, right?
Salve. Ready.
There we go. Second wave of units coming in from DauT. Stronger military count compared to Nili, stronger villager count compared to Nili, while both players are on 4 TCs and this struggle to keep the TCs working. Still no Shape Art and Armor for DauT though. He's gotta be careful. Still no ballistics, so these crosses are not quite as effective.
Ready.
Namaste.
Here we go.
Yay.
University on the way now. That will finally go for ballistics. Plus, his economy is much stronger compared to Nili. He will be the first player to go out to the Imperial Age. Meanwhile, the red player, he's been getting food slowly but surely from these sheep for a long time already. That should amount to about 1,000 resources for Nili at this point in time already. Well, maybe not that high actually. Maybe more like 800, let's say. With 6 sheep, garrison inside the mill, it takes about half an hour for those sheep to produce 600 food. Because it's not quite as good with any subsequent sheep, I would imagine it's probably going to be after half an hour, 10 fully garrisoned sheep, they're going to produce maybe 800 resources or so. It's not bad still for Nili in any case, but it's not enough for him to catch up by the looks of it. DauT is 2 minutes away from the Imperial Age. Meanwhile, Nili is probably about 30 seconds away from being able to click up to the Imperial Age. So that's going to be a significant head start for DauT already. Defensive castle now. And DauT's been collecting stone. He should be able to go for a castle of his own. A 4-1 potentially. Maybe a defensive one, we'll see. Right now, without a castle, he won't really be able to go for a trebuchet once he gets to the Imperial Age, so that kind of sucks a little bit. Hey, ballistics on the way, 35 seconds away. Yeah, and Imperial Age is on the way now for Nili. There's a substantial lead for DauT of 1 minute and 58 seconds, so almost 2 minutes. The DauT's going to have to work with in the Imperial Age before Nili gets there himself. Now DauT's sending a bunch of villagers forth. He's trying to go for a 4 castle, and this could be really good. This castle's coming up very slowly for Nili. He realized the Bother Knight's coming in though, with the monks over there is going to try to get the conversions. He's targeting the units and gets 1 conversion. That knight gets immediately taken down by the crossbows. You know what? Nili should bring a few extra villagers to try and get the castle up over here, perhaps. But DauT stopped marching on. If he kept on moving forward, he might have been able to delay this castle quite a bit. In any case, the castle's coming up too far away from where DauT was trying to get his own castle up anyway. So it doesn't seem like it's going to matter too much. And take a look at the position of the castle over here for DauT. That's a very aggressive one. The defensive tower comes up. Defensive tower is coming out right now for Nili, but DauT, he's got a lot of crossbows. The armor upgrades here And that will simply melt the villages from Nili. It's going to melt the skirmishers. It's going to melt the monks. And DauT's getting an incredible lead over here. The Shiraj Riders, the skirmishers, everything's going down. The Scorpion's going down. And as he gets the castle up over here, before Nili gets to the Imperial Age, he will still have a head start to trebuchet production. And this is nothing short of remarkable for DauT. As Nili gets to the Imperial Age, he'll try to make a play for Shrivamsh Riders. He's not really producing much of anything. He's got skirmishers queued up, but he's got a single archer range. The production potential for Nili is non-existent. And he goes on to call the GG 36 minutes into the game. DauT gets the 5th victory in the series. And remember, this is the best of 11 series, which means the first 1 to 6 games. So DauT, he's got 3 games left, potentially, and he needs 1 more win. Nili, he needs to get all 3 games back to back. Military is looking better for DauT. Economy looking better for DauT as well by about 2,000 extra resources. We'll see for society, higher villager max count for DauT, as well as the fewest villager losses, with only 4 villages going down compared to about 17 from Nili. And that's going to be about it for game number 8 actually. So we'll jump into game number 9 in a moment. And here we go. Game number 9 is here. DauT is going to be playing with Hans, and this will be TTL2 Cross. For the civilizations, it's DauT with Hans versus Nili playing with the Japanese. So DauT naturally in the blue collar over here is going to get 10 and 20% cheaper cavalry archer units in the castle and Imperial Ages. We have for DauT civilization also 50% accuracy on trebuchets as opposed to 15%, and he also gets 200 population support, of course, at the expense of 100 wood at the beginning of the game. For the team bonus, the Huns will also have 20% faster working stable, so it's a very good civilization for a map like this, and we have seen them in the past multiple times. On this map, go for cavalry archers, usually pretty heavily. Although they are not going to be strangers to going for full scouts in the Feudal Age, potentially a play for knights in the Castle Age. Meanwhile, Native Civilization, on the other hand, will provide them with 5, 10, 15, and 20% cheaper, actually more efficient fission ships, faster working fission ships. And the Dark Feudal Castle and Imperial Ages with twice the HP and plus 2 pierce armor. Those fission ships are going to be fantastic. Besides that, we get a 50% discount on drop-off buildings for the Japanese, 33% faster attacking infantry units for the Japanese starting in the Feudal Age, and for the team bonus, they get 50% extra line of sight on galley line ships. And that is going to be about it for the Japanese. Taking a look at the map generation though for both these players. Mr. DauT. Mr. DauT is going to have 1 goal on the back already. The main one is pretty good. This one over here. It's got the secondary golds on the left hand side, 4-ish. And then the stones. We have the main stone on the right hand side, secondary stone on the left hand side. Should be able to collect from this one pretty easily. And because it's very close to the corner of the map, there are a few ways that he can go about walling himself up. He can just connect the wall lines like this. He can either go like this and this, or potentially just from here to the TC and like this, which is also good. If he went for these walls outside, he would be able to secure this wall line, but of course it's going to come at the expense of not being able to really protect this area of the wall. So instead I expect him to go for something like this instead. And on the left-hand side, I would definitely prefer for him to go for the walls like this. This way, he will be able to secure the stone. But if he secures the wall line over here and starts collecting from this one, or potentially even this one on the left-hand side, he should be able to protect this area of the wall as well, which otherwise will be kind of exposed. Oh, wait a moment though. Is the scout going to realize about the villager? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. And Nili's gonna try to body block the villager. Oh boy, he gonna do it. Would you apply early aggression on this map? Given DauT's map generation, I wouldn't really blame him for trying to play Fast Castle into full CA production, but Nili has done a really good job for the most part, recognizing every time that DauT tried to Fast Castle by going forward and trying to place towers and trying to disrupt DauT's economy. So I guess probably the better choice for DauT would be to just try to play a standard FLH over here and try to be aggressive instead with scouts. Nili, on the other hand, let's take a look at his map generation. Well, this is not anywhere near as good. One thing that I didn't mention from DauT's map generation is that no matter what he goes for, it seems like he's going to connect like this. But if he gets the walls like this, right, he will be able to secure the entirety of the pond, which is huge. Meanwhile, Nili is not going to be in the same position because he's closer to the center of the northwest side as opposed to closer to the corner. So the red player over here, first off, his resources are not anywhere near as good. He's got the main goal on the left-hand side very far away. The secondary goals are going to be extremely far away as well. Oh my lord, even the stones are awful over here. This is not a good map generation for Nili whatsoever. He won't ever be able to protect the pond. He won't ever be able to collect the resource over here without risking losing villagers to potential pushes. You know what? Given the map generation from Nili, he is kind of forced into being aggressive. So he's going up to the VLH already, but he's going up on 24. Now, this is standard because you do go for fish and chips. Otherwise, it'll be 20 population, right, for him. DauT, on the other hand, is going up to 24. He's got fish and chips as well. Otherwise, it'll be 21 population for him. Going up a little bit later compared to me with one extra villager, I think. Yeah. VLH is here, ready for Nili. Still on the way now for DauT. He's got some gold miners. And Nili sending a villager forward to try and get a sneaky tower up. Is that going to be for a sneaky tower or for a sneaky dock? You can go for either one. And it's going to be for a sneaky tower. Then he can try to go for a sneaky dock afterwards. It's interesting to see the walls that DauT has gone for over here, as opposed to walling himself to the corner, to the edges of the map, because he's close to the corner. He's decided instead to go for the walls around the woodlands instead. It's not really going to secure much of anything for him. Even the allegedly safe woodland over here is going to be disrupted already by a tower coming up. Now DauT knows about it. He's got vision of it. We'll see if he reacts to it. That's gonna be the question. Let's see if Nili is paying attention though. He is, and DauT's got 3 scouts, but he's managed to get a defensive tower up, and Nili is forced into the lead in the tower foundation. He loses a villager right now as well. And DauT's coming in with the scouts, gonna go for Nili is not completely walled off yet. On the left hand side, we have a second dock for Nili. Right hand side, we have a third dock, so he's gonna try and take advantage of 3 out of 4 ponds over here, but that's not going to let him have any. He's already gotten spotted over here, but he does try to have the dock up. It seems like he's going to get pushed away. Well, we'll see a villager going down over here from Nili. If DauT plays his cards right, he should be able to body block the villager, and he's going to try to, and he will, and the villager is going to go down, and that's another villager going down over here as Nili's unit control over there was not the best. DauT could have tried to get the village down over there, but that would have come at the cost, at the expense of 1 or 2 scouts. So he decided against it, and well, he tried to go for a sneak attack on the right hand side. Nili's galley is already going to put enough. It's going to represent a strong enough defense for Nili to hold on to this area. Yeah, and in the end, on the left hand side, we see a village going down from DauT. The thing though is he already was able to take 2 villagers down from Nili. The one around the mining camp over here, the one around the tower over here. And while Nili does have 3 pawns to take advantage of, The villager count or the worker count overall is actually favoring DauT. Interestingly enough. Still on the way now for Nili. Yeah, and the players are going to try to be somewhat aggressive. DauT is the one, certainly, to get the ball rolling with the scout play, Nili. Nili's going for archers, and it's going to take longer for him to get enough units to go out confidently into the open. Two villages coming in from DauT on the right-hand side. Yeah, and the dog's coming up already. Nili's not going for anything over here, so... Oh, there we go. He realized about it now. Yes. Good reaction from Nili as well, going for the fire galleys right away. And notice, he will actually end up losing another villager over here to DauT Scout, so... The worker count still looking better for the bull player. Now, taking a look at the left-hand side, Nili is actually going to wall towards the corner. That is a very, very greedy wall coming in from the red player, but it seems like he's going to get away with this. And what this gives him is the main goal and a neutral goal over here on the left hand side as well. Plus, this one is going to be completely safe. Hey, DauT does get though the second dog up over here, and he's going for fire galleys. It's gonna be really good. The militia raft over here is gonna be enough for DauT to take all three fishing ships down. But I imagine he's gonna go for one to try and take on the fire galleys from Nili instead. And this counter push is coming up with archers, with scouts. Isn't able to get a single villager from DauT though! And it seems like the castle is just on the way from both these players, but DauT's going to have a little bit of a head start to it. So now the question is, he's got one archer range. Is he going to commit to range units and go for cavalry archers? Could very well be the case. We are going to find out in any case. Let's see. Yeah. DauT's unit control over here is not the best though. Trying to take on the fishing ships from Nili is never going to go in his favor. Just try and focus the fire galleys down, man. He's gonna try and do it right now. If he plays his cards right, should be able to come out on top, but he's got to pay attention to the engagement down the south instead of around his goal, but he'll be able to clean this up for the most part. Well, the castle age is on the way for both these players. DauT's got a 19-second or so head start to it. And it seems like he's coming out on top on the right-hand side, so he'll take some of the fishing ships down over here and will allow him to catch up in worker count. Nili is going for extra fire galleys, but against two dogs from DauT, it's unlikely he'll be able to catch up. Up in the north, he's fine. On the left-hand side, he's fine. So Nili is definitely still very much into this game. He's going for a second stable. He's got two archer ranges going for archers, and he's going for a second stable, so it seems like it's going to be knights and crossbows. While DauT, on the other hand, he's got a second stable himself and no extra archer ranges to speak of, so it won't be a cavalry archer play. It's going to be just knights. So we were saying earlier, the Huns are no stranger to that. And there we go, for Siege Workshop on the way. That's gonna start putting pressure from earlier, and Nili. He's getting bloodlines. He's getting to the castle age now. And what is the play from Nili? He doesn't have anywhere near enough stone to go for any extra TCs. And given the fact that he's got two pawns under his control, he might not need to. DauT. He's got extra fire galleys on the way on the right hand side. And Nili's going for the war galley upgrade. Yeah, that's kind of assuming he'll end up getting water control by going for fishing ships right now. And to be honest, he might be able to. As DauT gets pressure from Nili and ejects all the units, DauT should be able to still come out on top over here, so long as he plays his cards right, of course. Yeah, He's got one extra fire galley over there. He's got the scouts. That is really well played from DauT. He will take this down. Get water control on the right hand side. And Nili. Oh, Nili's got crossbows coming forward. And he's getting one villager down already. 2 villagers down already. 3 villagers down. 20 seconds away from ballistics. Nili might be spreading himself too thin. I do agree with you. He's going for too many things over here. While DauT, on the other hand, DauT did go for some navy. But he's gonna be focusing exclusively on knights and siege over here. That should be good against ranged units. Ideally, he would want to go for a monastery so that he can also protect himself against knights, especially the mangonel over here could get sniped. Good defense though for DauT, and man, the lead that he's getting right now is substantial, very close to 50% higher population for DauT. As Nili gets cleaned up over here, he's gonna need to focus on defending himself against DauT's push. And with the second mangonel out, the blue player is looking so much stronger over here. And you gotta really feel it for him. Nili did a really good job in the show match for the most part. He was able to get 3 games out of DauT. And after game number 6, the series was tied, right? Like, Nili was even able to get 2 games back to back in games 2 and 3. But game number 9 over here is definitely favoring DauT. And it's going to kind of shatter the dreams of Nili taking on the Lord. Climbing up the ranks of GL. He's gonna need to try against Slam next. We'll see. Yeah, and that's not really caring about the defensive units from Nili at all. He's got the mangonels. He can take pikemen down with the mangonels. We see some knights coming out over here. This is what I was talking about. That's gotta be careful because the knights will take the mangonels down faster than the defensive knights will take the knights down from Nili, right? Yeah, you saw some very good attack rounds. And that's a lot of villagers going down, man. Nili absolutely falling apart. Hey, Briglio. Hi, hi. Welcome back. And there we go, guys. Nili calls the GG. As DauT takes the 6th point in the series. That's going to leave DauT on a final score of 6-3 against Nili. Absolutely fantastic. Well played. Let's go through the achievements one final time over here, and we'll see a better than 2-to-1 KD ratio for DauT, approaching 21-20. Actually, not quite. It's actually going to be so much higher than that, of course. It's the fast and talking, alright? It's gonna be over soon. It's gonna be over tomorrow night. For economy, we have a stronger economy for DauT, collecting well over 600 extra resources, well, or close to it. While for society, DauT does end up getting a higher villager max count in the end. And not only that, but he takes the fewest losses over here. For villagers, he lost 4 compared to 11 from Nili. And for fishing ships, he actually did not lose a single one, while Nili ended up losing 3 himself.